my channel. So it's just Myron Golden, Myron Golden. Jump over there. You will be glad you did. What's that? It'll be the only ones live right now. So go over there, look for me live, and if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, then every time I go live, you'll get notified, and who knows, maybe the notification will win you something one of these days. All right. So we live, Larry? We on YouTube? Good morning, YouTube. Welcome, Myron Golden here, and I am going to be giving stuff away today. We're going to give away $1,000 cash and prizes, $1,000, right? We're going to get, somebody's going to win 100. Somebody's going to win, 5 people are going to win 100. One person's going to win 500 in cash. Well, obviously, we'll cash app it to you. We're not going to send you cash in the mail. Somebody's going to win a brand new pair of AirPod Pros. Somebody's going to win an iPhone 14 Pro Max. 14 Pro Max. So somebody's going to win that, okay? And somebody's going to win an iPad. So like, I'm going to tell you what I have to do to win. Everybody's going to have a chance to win who follows the instructions that will give you the opportunity to win. Plus, I'm going to give away a $1,000 home study course called Golden Ops. Golden Ops is a program that we created to teach you how to do affiliate marketing. And OPS is an acronym that stands for other people's stuff. So you're going to learn how to make money selling other people's stuff. And I make tens of thousands of dollars a month selling other people's stuff, right? So, and I know some of you, yeah. So I make tens of thousands of dollars a month selling other people's stuff, and I pay out over $10,000 a month, sometimes over $20,000 a month, paying other people who sell my stuff. So you're going to learn, like, somebody's going to win Golden Ops. Somebody is going to win. Somebody's going to win a ticket to a general admission ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. I'll tell y'all more about that later when we get ready to do the giveaways. Somebody's going to win a VIP ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. Somebody's going to win a platinum ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. And I've got a crazy, redonkulous, stupid, ridiculous giveaway that I'm going to do. And my team and I are flying to Puerto Rico on Monday on a private jet with a couple of my VIP day students. And somebody is going to win the ability to go with us on that trip. Now, if you want to do that, you'll have to get to Tampa by Monday morning because we're flying out of Tampa. We're not coming to pick you up, okay? And you'll be able to fly on the private jet with us, go to this event. We're getting there on Monday. The event starts on Tuesday, and then it's Wednesday and Thursday, and we're coming back Friday morning. So somebody's going to win that. If you win that, though, you're going to have to pay for your own room and your own food. But yeah, and this is like you're not going to be able to get VIP coaching while you're on the VIP day trip, but you will be able to watch me coach VIPs while we're on the VIP day trip. And these are people who paid $350,000 to go on this trip with me. So we're not talking about some little dinky thing. So we're talking about something that's real and right and crazy. I just thought to give that away today. And so we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to explain, as we're giving stuff away, I'm going to explain what the things are that we're giving away. But today I want to share with y'all what I call the $1 million fast track, okay? Or the Millionaire fast track, the Millionaire fast track. And so before I even start talking to you about the Millionaire fast track, or how to be a fast track millionaire, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You know, a lot of times, you talk about Millionaire fast and people automatically think scam. But what they should think scam, like when you should think scam, in my opinion, I don't really have shoulds for other people, but I'm going to give you all a should anyway. And you should think scam when somebody makes you believe that it's okay to be grown and broke, right? See, like, here's what grown and broke equals. A-B-S. What does that mean? Already been scammed because you're grown and broke, right? And so my objective is to help some grown folk, figure out how to get rich and how to get rich faster. So people say, Myron, are you talking about a get rich quick scheme? And my only answer to that is you better hope so. Because you ain't going to be here long enough to get rich slow, right? And the other thing that you have to understand is wealth is measured more in time than it is in money anyhow, That's why it's important to get rich quick. Why? Because wealth is measured more in time than it is in money. What does that even mean? Well, let's go over to the whiteboard, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to ask you a question. If you make $1 million, are you rich? Give me some answers. Yeah, that's right. Who said it? Somebody said it. Okay. It depends. It depends. If you make $1 million, are you rich? Yes. It depends. Why does it depend? Well, if you work for 40 years and you make $25,000 a year, you multiply that times that equals $1 million. Right? Are you rich? No, you're not rich. Why? Too slow. Right? So you're not making the money fast enough to get it like turning into more money. $25,000 a year, you work for 40 years, you made $1 million, but you're still broke. Right? So, but what if you make this same $1 million in 1 year? Now are you rich? Yes, you're rich. You're not Bill Gates rich. By the way, some people say no. Hey, let me tell you something. $1 million a year is about $84,000 a month. Right? $84,000 a month, here's what that means. Rich. And I was doing some research this morning. And the research I was doing this morning, I wanted to see like how many businesses do over like $15 million a year. And so what it showed me, it said 86% of businesses. By the way, there are 33 million businesses in the United States of America. 33 million. Okay? 86% of businesses do less than $100,000 a year in revenue. I'm like, what? What? What is that? Like, you own a business? Like having a job and making less than $100,000 a year, I can get that, right? But if you own a business, owning a business is way too hard to make less than $100,000 a year, right? Which means only 14% of businesses do over $100,000 a year in revenue. That is mind-blowing to me. And so, anyway, so if you make $1 million a year, you are rich. How rich are you? You are. Let me see, $1 million a year. You are 480 times richer. No, you're 40 times richer. You're 40 times richer. 40 times richer than the person who makes $25,000 a year. But you both made the same amount of money. You just made it faster. You tracking? Everybody got it? Let me hear you say I got it. Okay, so you made $1 million. But what if you make $1 million a month? That's more better. Is the person who makes $1 million a month richer than the person who makes $1 million a year and the person who makes $1 million in 40 years? Yes, a person who makes $1 million a month is 12 times. This marker sometimes acts like an eraser because I press it too hard. So you're 12 times richer than this guy, and you're 480 times. You can always tell when I get excited. When I get excited, I turn my marker into an eraser. Okay, you're 480 times richer than this dude. So I get it. What if one of the reasons you're not rich is because you've been programmed your whole life to think there's something wrong with getting rich quick? So they made you aware of what's wrong with getting rich quick, but they didn't make you aware of what's wrong with staying broke for the rest of your life, right? So you're okay with staying broke, but you're averse to getting rich quick, right? So, and by the way, by quick, here's my definition of quick. In your lifetime, and watch this, the sooner the better, right? In your lifetime, how many of you on YouTube would rather get rich in your lifetime than after you die? You get rich after you die, you won't even know you did it, right? So maybe you should do it while you're still here. But people have this resistance. Well, it sounds too good to be true. You know, the seventh commandment was, if it sounds too good to be true, it must not be true. That's not a commandment. That's nonsense. 90% of the things that we experience in our lives in 2023 sound too good to be true. Can you imagine going back 100 years? Not 1,000 years, 100, 1923. And you have the internet, a cell phone, air conditioning in your car, flying on jets. All of that stuff sounds too good. GPS. There are so many things we take for granted every single solitary day that sound too good to be true. I remember back in the 90s, I remember in Bill Gates' book, Business at the Speed of Thought, one of the things he said is, one of these days your phone is going to be everything. And I thought, that doesn't make any sense. It sounds what? Too good to be true. And now your phone's everything. What is it? It's your bank, right? Because you got your banking apps on your phone. It's your flashlight. It's the keys to your car. It's the keys to my building, right? It's the way you communicate with people. It's the way you send emails. It's the way you send text. It's the way you identify, like you got your Apple Wallet, so you got your payment. But when he said it, all of that stuff, this is stuff we do every day, and we act like it's normal because it's normal to us. But then when somebody's, well, guess what? There are people in the world who making $1 million a month, it's normal to them. There are people in the world who making $1 million in a week, it's normal to them. There are people in the world for whom making $1 million a day, it's normal to them. Think about it. Somebody makes $365 million a year, that's $1 million a day. Now, it may not be normal for you, but that don't mean it's not normal, right? Right? There's a difference between normal and your normal. There's a difference between normal and my normal. And what we have to do is we have to wrap our minds around the fact. So fortunately for me, my dad used to sing this song to us when we were little kids. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you, right? And so he wasn't singing that to us as if he could do things better than we could. He was singing that to us to show us that if somebody else could do it, then we could do it, right? So I always like to say, well, if Bubba can do it, I can do it. Right? If I see somebody else doing something, I know it can be done. And so I am here to tell you, I was born the second of 7 brothers, right? I've got 6 brothers. I got 1 older brother, I got 5 younger brothers, and we grew up poor. In fact, we didn't really grow up poor. We grew up pitiful poor. And pitiful poor is when you're so poor, even poor people feel sorry for you. I mean, I know what I'm talking about, right? And so my parents didn't teach us about the magic of compound interest. They didn't teach us about investing. They didn't like verbally teach us about the importance of having businesses, but we saw them have businesses, right? So they didn't say, hey, you need to go start a business. But I remember when I was 16 years old and I'd seen my dad go out and work like a 3-legged mule for other people his whole life, only to get paid less than he thought he was going to get on Friday and work harder than he needed to and make less than he needed to and the whole 9 yards. And all of a sudden one day, I'm 16 years old, my dad said, I'm never doing that again. What are you never doing again? I'm never working for anybody again. I'm only going to work for me. And I saw my dad and I thought to myself, but wait, don't you have to have a job? Well, I guess you don't. And he started working for himself. I'm 16. He's however old he was. And he stopped working for other people. And I remember going to work with my dad. I remember going to work with my dad a lot when I was a kid, and I loved it. I loved all the tools. I loved the sounds. I loved the smell. I loved all of it, like the torch. Like my dad was a plumber, so you have to sweat the pipes. I loved all that stuff. And I remember one day, Rob, you might have even been there. Out on the bypass, there was this gas station. And my dad would often take a couple of us to work with him at a time. And there was this gas station, and they had this backed up sewer line. And so we went out, and we dug this hole in the ground, and we got it unstopped in like 45 minutes. And my dad charged that dude $900, and they paid him. I was like, you can make $900 in 45 minutes? Let's do that again, right? And so I promise you, your life can be different than your life has been. But you have to allow a new awareness to awaken. You can't think that things are the way you've experienced them just because you've experienced them that way, right? And so I remember the transformational moment in my life when I realized, when I knew in my heart, I had a desire to be rich, probably since the first time I ever heard the word. Right? How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? Right? I heard the word rich. I said, yeah, I don't want to be Richard. I just want to be rich. Can I get a witness? Right? And so I remember the first time, in my life when I knew, I wanted to be rich. The first concept that I had of being rich was when I was a little kid, there was this movie about this guy that was in prison, and he wrote these people a letter. This is so weird, isn't it? Like, he wrote all these people a letter, and he said, if I write 1 million people and get 1 million people to send me $1, by the time I get out of prison, I'll be a millionaire. I thought, get 1 million people to give me $1. How could I get 1 million people to give me $1? That'd be pretty cool. But guess what? Or I could get 100,000 people to give me $10. Right? Or I could get 10,000 people to give me $100. Or I could get 1,000 people to give me $1,000. It's 1 million. And I remember as a little kid, I didn't figure all that part out. I just knew 1 million people $1, right? So what happened was I read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad in January of 1999. And I'm giving you these details because I'm talking about the Fast Track Millionaire and why it's so important for you to change what you think in here. One is possible, right? But then you need to change what you think is like morally right and good, right? Because some people think that it's immoral and wrong to make too much money too fast. Well, I'm going to let you keep believing that, okay? But I ain't joining you in that deal, right? Okay, so I remember, and I read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I had a great awakening financially when I read that book. And so when I read it, the number one principle that I got from Rich Dad, Poor Dad was this: the difference between rich people, poor people, and middle class people is not how much money they make. And I realized after I read that book that I could actually, if I had a job working at McDonald's, I could get rich, right? So here's what I learned. The difference between poor people, middle class people, and rich people is this word right here. It's called perception. Now, I'm going to say something about perception. Because people say things like, you create your own reality. Okay, words have meaning, okay? So if you're tracking, I want you to get this. Words have meaning. And I promise you, you don't create your own reality. I promise you, there's not a human being on earth that creates their own reality, right? Well, you have to follow your truth. You don't have a truth. The truth is the truth, and anything that's not the truth is a lie, right? So I'm going to say what actually does happen. You don't create your own reality. You create your own experience in reality. And then you begin to believe that your experience is reality. Did I say that too fast? I think I did. I'm going to say it again. So you don't create your own reality. You create your own experience in reality, and then you think that experience is reality. And when it comes to your truth, my truth, his truth, her truth, there is no your truth, my truth, his truth, her truth. There's the truth, and anything that's not the truth is a lie. But here's the problem. We think we believe the truth. We think we're believing the truth when most of the time what we're actually doing is thinking things are true because we believe them. And there's a difference, okay? And so perception, what is the perception? The perception of poor people is this, that the primary purpose of money is to pay bills. So how can you be anything but poor if you think that the primary purpose of money is to pay bills? How can you be anything but poor? How's it possible? It's not. You can't be anything but poor. Why? Because the only reason you think you need to go get money is to pay somebody else, and so you'll never get more money than the amount it takes for you to pay somebody else. So as long as you can make enough money to pay your bills, you're happy. So you go get a job, you think, how much money does it take for me to live? Okay, if I can get a job making that much money, then I'm going to be okay. Well, this is why you're poor. It's not the amount of money. It's not the job. It's not the fact that they don't pay anymore. I like what Jim Rohn said. He said, I said to my mentor, but Mr. Schoaf, this is all they pay. He said, that's all they pay? He said, let me ask you a question, Mr. Rohn. He said, do they pay other people at your company more than they pay you? Yes. He said, well, then that's not all they pay. That's just all they pay you. Right? Okay, so we have to understand that we have to expand our awareness. People don't lack access, they only lack awareness of access they already have. You already have enough access to be rich. You just don't have enough awareness to be rich. Okay, so poor people think the primary purpose of money is to pay bills. Middle class people think the primary purpose of money is to maintain good credit. So they make a little more money than it takes for them to survive. Like these people only make enough money to pay their bills. These people make a little more money than it takes for them to pay their bills. And then what they do is they buy things that cost more than they can afford and pay for them on credit. Now, I love using credit. I love using good debt to create wealth. I don't like using bad debt. In fact, like I don't ever use debit cards unless I go to the bank to prove that I'm me. Everything else I buy on a card, I buy on a credit card because all the credit cards I have give me points. You say, Myron, what's points? Points are money. So they're paying me to buy stuff. So it makes sense. It makes way more sense for me to pay with a credit card, get the points, and then just pay the credit card off at the end of the month, right? So I just paid off my American Express yesterday. In the last 30 days, I put $169,000 on my American Express. That's a lot of points, and then I paid it off. Last month in December, I put $500,000 on my American Express and paid it off. And I got those points. And it doesn't matter if it's 500,000 or 500. That's the 500,000 is not the point. The point is the points. The point is the points. Okay. So maintain good credit. So middle class people like have a lifestyle that makes them look like they're doing better than they are. But I am here to tell you that very few things keep more people stuck in their current financial situation than trying to look richer than they are. I would rather look broke and be rich than look rich and be broke. So, what's the difference? Rich people. What do rich people do? Well, we believe the primary purpose of money, well, I wasn't we then, so they, back then, they believe primary purpose of money is to turn it into more money. So the first thing I want to do, and the most important thing I do, is turn my money into more money. Turn my money into more money. So when I get $1 or $10 or $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 or $1 million or $3 million or $7 million or whatever, my primary objective with every single one of those dollars is to turn it into more money before I spend any of the money I just got. So why do I say it's critically important to make money faster? Because if you don't, here's what's going to happen. Inflation and taxation are going to erode the dollars you get faster than you can earn them. This is why it's important to make money fast. Myron, what is inflation? Inflation is if there are only $100 in the world, let's say, okay? So there's $100. There's $100 in the world. Whole U.S. economy is $100. It doesn't matter what the number is because it works the same. And there are 100 people, and all 100 people have $1. As soon as the government prints another $100, that $100 is now only worth 50 cents. In every year, inflation, well, up until last year and the year before that, last 2 years, inflation's been greater than it's ever been in human history, like in American history. But before 2021 and 2022, inflation averaged about 2% per year. You say, Myron, what does that mean? It means every 10 years, your money is worth 20% less than it was a decade ago. So people feel like they're making more money, and they are making more money. They're making more, but the more they're making is worth less, so they're still making the same amount or worse. That's what inflation does to your dollars. And then what's taxation? Taxation is when these lifetime politicians, politics. You say politics. Oh, that's an interesting word. Poly means more than one. Tick, blood-sucking parasite. Okay, sorry. So, did I say that out loud? Okay, so what they do, they don't know how to create anything. So what they do is they take the people who are producers and they come take it from them, and then they give what they take to somebody they think deserves it more than the people who make it. So if you don't get rich, taxation and inflation are going to make you so poor, like literally, this is not an exaggeration, literally your children or grandchildren may end up living on the street as homeless people because you didn't get rich. Because it wasn't important enough for you because your favorite show was on. Because it wasn't important enough for you because your favorite team was playing. And I believe that anybody who's broke or otherwise, your favorite team should be the people with the same last name as you. Do I need to do a giveaway? Oh, I do. So, thank you, Zach. So I'm going to be giving some stuff away today, y'all. In fact, I'm going to go back over here so I can tell you what I'm giving away. Then I'm going to tell you how to enter. The monitor went off back there, by the way, guys. So I'm going to tell you what you have to do to win. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to give away. We're going to give away today. We're going to give away like cash money. We're going to give away $1,000. 5 people are going to win $100. 1 person's going to win $500. So make sure you share this with everybody. Okay? 5 people are going to win $1,000. 5 people are going to win $100. 1 person's going to win $500. I'm going to give away an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Yeah, I don't even have one of these. I have an iPhone 13 something or other, probably Pro Max. Okay, so we're going to give away some brand new iPod Pros. Brand new iPod Pros. These things are great. I love these things. I use them every day. In fact, I have 2 sets right here. My very own iPod. You say, why do you have 2 sets? Well, because I lost this one, and then my homie from Wyoming, Larry, got me one for my birthday, so now I have 2, right? So then I'm going to give away a brand new iPad, and we're going to give away some courses. Okay, I'm going to give away Golden Ops. It's a $1,000 course that we sell right now for $1,000, and we pay a 70% affiliate commission on it, where we teach you how to sell other people's stuff and make money in affiliate commissions. I make tens of thousands of dollars a month in affiliate commissions selling other people's stuff. So we're going to give away Golden Ops. We're going to give away, oh, by the way, Golden Ops has in it this program called Millionaire Mindset Makeover, where you learn how to think like a millionaire, because until you learn how to think like a millionaire, you won't be able to become one. So you're going to get that. You're going to get Golden Ops. Okay, we're going to give away 1 general admission ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. The Make More Offers Challenge is a challenge I do every month, and what I do is I teach people the 4 moves in the B.O.S.S Moves book. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that. We're going to give away a B.O.S.S Moves book. We're going to give away a B.O.S.S Moves book signed copy and Trash Man to Cash Man signed copy. We're just adding stuff. We're just throwing stuff. Well, we might as well give this away too. And might as well give that away too. Okay, so cool. So we're going to give away Make More Offers Challenge I do once a month, where I literally teach you the most, like the 4 things that any business has to do if you want to scale, right? And I go into like detail, right? And we've had people take that challenge and literally go and make tens of thousands of dollars the weekend after it was over, just from the stuff they learned on the challenge. We also sell a coaching program at the end of that. We had one lady who was just on our coaching call a couple of days ago. She bought the coaching program after the challenge, and she's only been in the coaching program for 3 months. She just closed a $1.6 million government contract. Mind-blowing, right? And the reason she even offered them that much is because she took the Make More Offers Challenge, and she learned how to make more and better offers, right? So you'll learn that. I'm going to give away 1 general admission ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. I'm going to give away 1 VIP ticket. By the way, general admission tickets to the Make More Offers Challenge are $97. And you get to come and watch the entire challenge, okay? Then we have VIP experience also. VIP experience is 1 hour before the challenge starts. Like, I go on and I answer business owners' business questions. Like, the VIP challenge ticket sells for $297. We're going to give away 1 VIP ticket, and we're going to give away 1 platinum ticket. A platinum ticket is $597, and what we do with that, those are the people, the business owners who get to ask the question. So we're going to give that away. We are going to give away, and the last thing I'm going to give away for some extremely blessed human being who is willing to who loves adventure, is going to win a fly-on-the-wall VIP day trip with me. We're leaving from Tampa on Monday to go to Puerto Rico, or we're getting there Monday. We're leaving to come back Friday. Not only are you going to be able to you'll be able to ride on the jet. You'll be able to watch me coach 2 of my VIP day students. My VIP days are $350,000 for the day, right? So they paid $350,000 to be there. You won't get to ask me any questions, any coaching questions, any of that. But you'll be able to be on the plane and watch me, private jet, flying out of Tampa, going to to Puerto Rico, and then You will have to pay for your own hotel and food, but I'll get you into the event for free, and the event ticket's $1,000, and private jet travel there and back would be $11,000 an hour. It'd be just around $70,000, $80,000 if you book that trip yourself on a private jet. So we're giving that away. And did I leave anything out? Or that's pretty much, huh? That's pretty much it. So how do you win? Well, here's what you're gonna do. We have a random number generator. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But you have to go to this page that I'm going to tell you, and you have to fill out the form completely. You have to put your accurate information in. If you don't put your accurate information in, what's going to happen is you can't win. Like, if we don't have your information, how can we send you the stuff, right? So you're going to put your name, your email address, your phone number, your mailing address, and your YouTube handle. Your YouTube handle is the name that shows up when you're putting a comment on YouTube, like right there, back there, like you are doing now, like Monisha Williams. That would be her YouTube handle. Like Stacey Everett, that would be her YouTube handle. Sky Eris, that would be her YouTube channel. Daniel Das, that would be his YouTube channel. Okay, y'all get it? So put your YouTube handle, I said YouTube channel, but your YouTube handle, right? Put your YouTube handle on there, right? And those of you who are here live, just put live on there so we know you're here live, and then that's how you'll win. So here's the URL here's where you go to fill out the form before we do the giveaway. Then I'm going to teach something else for like a hot minute. In fact, I'm going to take a couple of questions, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So what happens, let's say we get 10,000 people who put their name in the form. It's going to populate to a spreadsheet. Every line on the spreadsheet has a number. Once we wait a couple of minutes, give everybody time to do it, what's going to happen is we're going to put on the random number generator anywhere from 2 to 10,000 people, right? Or however many the number of people is. We're going to push a button. The random number generator is going to generate the number live in front of you, so you know we're not doing any funny stuff, right? We're not picking people because we like them. We like all y'all. All y'all, my friend, okay? So here's the URL. The URL is kingdomwealthsecrets.com. Did I get it right? kingdomwealthsecrets.com. kingdomwealthsecrets.com. Larry just put it in the chat. So under Myron Golden, you see it, kingdomwealthsecrets.com. It's pinned also. Cool. So it's pinned right there, kingdomwealthsecrets.com. And put your name. You fill it out completely. Make sure your address is correct. Like, we got to mail you the iPad if you win the iPad. What am I going to give away first? First thing I'm going to give away is $100. In fact, I'm going to do 2 drawings right after this break. I'm going to give away $100, and I'm going to give away a Make More Offers Challenge ticket. So congratulations for being in the right place at the right time with the right people and all the rest of the rights that go along with that. Okay. Thank you. Trash Man to Cash Man. This is my book, From the Trash Man to the Cash Man, How Anyone Can Get Rich Starting from Anywhere. And this is my financial literacy brain in a book. If you will follow the principles in this book, here's what I can promise you. If you will follow the principles in this book, you will never be broke again, okay? So, Trash Man to Cash Man. Wrote that back in 2007. This is B.O.S.S Moves. By the way, like the results I'm telling you people are having, I can't guarantee you're going to have those results. I've never even met most of y'all. I don't know you. I don't know if you're going to do it. I don't know if you're not going to do it. I know the principles work, and principles don't care who you are. But I can't guarantee you anything, because anything is a guaranteed loss, and I don't want to guarantee your loss. But what I do, I can guarantee you that whoever wins, we're going to send this stuff to y'all, right? So, and hopefully there aren't so many people going to that page that it crashes. Hopefully we don't break the internet today. Or maybe if we break the internet, that'd make a great story. We broke the internet. Okay, so B.O.S.S Moves. B.O.S.S Moves is my business brain in a book. I have clients. We have helped our clients have $100,000 days. Like, we talked about the fact, I want you to think about this. It blows my mind. 86% of businesses never do $100,000 in revenue. And we literally, in our coaching programs, have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people who've done $100,000 in revenue in a single day. Right? We have probably 25, 30, maybe even 35 people who've done $1 million in revenue in a day. And it's all based on the principles that I put in this book, B.O.S.S Moves book. And so somebody's going to win this book today. So what what I'm going to do is take a question. I'm going to take a question from the live audience first because they're here, and then y'all can start typing questions in. If somebody has a question about something, about business, or about something that I said, by all means, go ahead and ask it, and then I'll answer your question, and then after everybody gets time to fill out the form, then we're going to do the drawing in another 5 minutes or so. So, anybody here have a question about business or the Bible and business or anything? Yes, sir. Pastor Tom Garrett.
I'd love for you to talk about the idea of scarcity and why that is an issue. Competition is scarcity.
Okay, so he asked me the question. He asked me to talk about scarcity and competition. Okay. First of all, let me do competition first. That's easier. Okay. When I talk about scarcity, when you think about scarcity, when I think about competition, the reason people think they have to compete is because somebody else outside of them compared them with somebody else outside of them as they were growing up. So they felt like in order to be good, you had to be better than, right? And if you have siblings, you may have heard, why can't you be like your brother? Why can't you be like your sister? If you had teachers, why can't you be like other students who blah, blah, blah? And the reality is the reason you can't is because you're not them, right? So when you understand that every human being who has ever lived on the face of the earth was created for a specific, particular assignment. Specific, particular assignment. And with regard to that specific, particular assignment, nobody else who's ever been born can do it. Just you. So how could you possibly have competition, right? My left hand doesn't compete with my right hand, and my hands don't compete with my eyes. My hands aren't like, I wish I could see. I know I can grab something, but I wish I could see, right? My eyes. I know I can see, but I can't wear rings. I wish I could wear rings. Now, how ridiculous would it look? I walking around with a ring on it. You see what I'm saying? So there is no competition. There's only collaboration and cooperation. Competition is something that you bought into because the enemy distracted you, which brings me to the next point, and that is lack or scarcity. Lack cannot exist in your experience unless it first exists in your expectation. In fact, the very first temptation in the history of the world was the temptation to focus on lack. Let me say that again. The first temptation in the history of the world was the temptation to focus on lack. In the Garden of Eden, it says in Genesis chapter 2, verse 16 and 17, and the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Every tree, freely eat. Every free tree, eat. Oh, by the way, because there's no competition, that means nobody's better than you. But because there's no competition, that means you're not better than anybody. I get it. Some of us have more money than others. Some of us have less money than others. But it doesn't make you better. It just makes you different. Some of us are tall and the rest of us are short. Doesn't make you better. It just makes you different, right? Some people have light skin. Some people have dark skin. Doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you worse. It just makes you different, right? Some people are men. Some people are women. It doesn't make you different. It doesn't make you better or worse. It just makes you different, right? Some people have educations like degrees, like as long as the Autobahn, right? And some people have none. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you better. It just makes you different. And here's what happens. When we get comfortable in our skin, we can be comfortable in the presence of anyone. Right? I'm not in competition with anybody. So therefore, I don't feel the need to step on or over anybody because I'm here to support you on your mission. I am here to bless you in your day. And so he said, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. I want you to think about those two words, every and freely. Every and freely are both abundance words. Every and freely. Then it says in chapter 3, verse 1, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made, and he said unto the woman, yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So I want you to notice what Satan did. Satan added a word and took out a word. He added the word not and took out the word freely. Does that change the meaning? Absolutely. Yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. By the way, just like back then, Satan was a master of changing language. That is his primary weapon of choice today, changing language. right? See, Satan understood something that we still don't understand in 2022, 2023. I forgot. It's a new day, new month, new year, right? And that is, when you change what you say, it changes what you see. Why? Because words are not just a communication tool. They're the window through which we see the world. What does that even mean? That means if I don't have a word for a thing, then I can't think about that thing, I can't talk about that thing, I can't communicate about that thing, and I can't do anything about that thing, because the only word I have for that thing is thing. And I can't call everything a thing, or there's no distinction, right? So he changes words. That's why God said, don't change the word of God. Don't add anything to it. Don't take anything from it, right? So the woman said, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Notice what she did. She took out the word not, but she also took out the word every and freely. She said, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. That's not what God said. God said, of every tree of the garden, thou mayest freely eat. And she said, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. And by the way, that's exactly what we do today. We will not speak the truth that we know to be true because we don't want to seem radical to people who are telling lies. Is that too strong? Can y'all handle that on YouTube? Right? So we won't speak the truth because we're worried about what somebody might think or what somebody might say. And so we change what God said so we can be more popular. We change what God said so we can be more relevant. We were not called to relevance, we were called to righteousness. So, anyway, watch what happens. Eve changed what she said. She changed what God said. She said, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the tree that's in the midst of the garden. Where's it at? It's in the middle of the garden. God has said, you shall not eat of it. Then she added something else. Neither shall you touch it lest you die. God never said don't touch it. Human beings always make the mistake of thinking they can solve their problems with willpower. Willpower doesn't work. Why? Because human beings are motivated by what they feel, not by what they know. That's why willpower doesn't work. Let me say that again. Willpower does not work. She said, neither shall you touch it. God didn't say don't touch it. Here's what God said. God said, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree that's in the midst of the garden thou shalt not eat of it, for the day thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. That's all he said. But see, Eve thought, if I use my willpower and I don't touch it, I can't eat it. But what she didn't realize is your flesh will never help you conquer your flesh, and your appetites will never help you solve your appetites. And Satan had an advantage. What was his advantage? He knew that he didn't have to get her to touch it to eat it. He only had to get her to pay attention to it, to eat it. Why? Because where attention goes, intention follows. So he got her to pay attention to the thing that God told her, to the only thing she lacked. She could eat off of every tree in the garden except one, right? The tree that's in the midst of the garden, that's only one. So every freely, is that abundance or lack? It's abundance. The tree, how many is that? One. Is that abundance or lack? That's lack. So Adam and Eve, I want you to wrap your mind around this. Adam and Eve had everything but one thing. And Satan got their attention on the one thing they lacked, and getting them focused on the one thing they lacked caused them to lose everything they had. Same thing happens today. I show what I mean. So what happens is when you hone in on lack, nothing perpetuates lack like focus on lack. And so here's what Adam and Eve had to do. Same thing you have to do, same thing I have to do. Adam and Eve had to ignore and walk past all of their abundance to get to the thing they lacked. That's what we have to do. So I know you're almost ready. We got a bunch of numbers. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So that'll be perfect actually. So I'm gonna give them a couple more seconds because I want to finish this thought. So wrap your mind around the fact, if lack can't exist in your experience until it first exists in your expectation, Satan got them focused on the thing that was missing. Do you understand that's what causes divorce? People start looking at their spouse and saying, why can't she be more like the lady I work with? Why can't she be more like the lady I go to church with? Why can't he be more like the mailman, the milkman, right? Why can't they be more like somebody other than them? And as soon as you start looking at what's missing in them, you're going to start seeing what's better in somebody else. And that's why people get distracted and commit adultery. They don't have an affair. It's not an affair. That's a language change. An affair is a party. Maybe I should bring a gift. It's not an affair. It's adultery. And that's why people commit adultery, which in the Old Testament was punishable by stoning to death. But that's another conversation for a different day as to why that is. So what happens is when we stop, do you realize, okay, I'm gonna give you a secret for creating wealth, and then Zach's gonna give me some questions. So here's the secret to creating wealth. Count your blessings. What does that even mean? When you become more aware of the blessings that you have, now you become ready and able to receive more blessings. When you wake up in the morning and open your eyes, do not forget. You know how to open your eyes, but you don't know how to make them see. So your ability to see is a gift. When you hear a bird singing outside, you remember this. You know how to listen, but you know how to listen, but you don't know how to make your ears hear. When you get up out of the bed, you know how to stand up, but you don't know how to make your legs walk. And there are thousands, maybe even millions of people in the world who open their eyes and their eyes can't see. When a bird sings outside, they can't hear it. Who if they attempted to stand up, they would fall on their face because they're paralyzed. And we're going through life like dismissing the blessings and only focusing on what's missing, which causes more and more and more to be missing every day. You want to get rich? Count the wealth of the blessings you already have. By the time I got to my office this morning, I had opened over 100 gifts. How dare I go through life and somebody ask me how I'm doing, and all I can say is, I'm still breathing, I'm still living, I'm above the dirt. No, I am blessed beyond measure with treats and treasures. Okay, so anyway, I'm done ranting. We're gonna cut it off right now. What's the number? Oh, wait, no. Okay, we're gonna give. So ask the question.
Well, I was gonna let you read the 3 questions that I pulled out.
Okay.
Pick whichever one you want.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick a question while Stephanie's editing. so this is for $100. Okay. Why aren't these biblical financial principles taught in church? Wow, that's a really good question. Does it matter what business you start? Are there better businesses? Man, these are great questions. Does it matter what your business is, or can you make money? Okay, so I'm going to answer all 3 of them because they're really easy answers. Sir, why aren't the, this is coming from beautiful Bethany. Beautiful Bethany. Good day, sir. Why aren't these biblical financial principles taught in church? Because you cannot teach what you do not know, and you cannot lead where you will not go. And so a pastor can't teach something if he doesn't know it. Even the apostle said we cannot help but speak the things which we have seen and heard, right? And so unfortunately, Satan, who's the father of religion, made us believe that the Bible is a religious book, and it's not a religious book, it's a guidebook. And so until you start looking at it through the lens of a guidebook, you can't find principles that bring guidance. You can only find principles that prove religion. So Kamisha Milton said, does it matter what business you start? Are there better businesses to make $1 million faster than others? Yes, there are. So, Kamisha Milton, you can start any kind of business you want to. If your focus on business is serving and loving the people who pay you, as opposed to how much money can I get, that's like, let's start there, okay? But there are 2 types of businesses, and it's more important to focus on the type of business than the business itself. What are the 2 types of business? A business that sells a service, or a business that sells a product. If you start a business that sells a service, it's harder to get rich because when you sell the service, now you have to fulfill the service, and now to fulfill the service takes time, and if you anchor your revenue generation to time, because time is a limited resource, the amount of money that you make will have to be limited. Okay, does that make sense? So, secondly, but if you sell a product, it takes we sell about 375 of these B.O.S.S Moves books a month, somewhere in there, 300 to 500. That's right, 300 to 500 of these B.O.S.S Moves books a month, right? This is a product, but it sells for $30. So let's say we sell 300 books this month. That's $9,000. We sell 500 books. That's $15,000. I wrote the book once, and it makes me thousands upon thousands of dollars a month. So selling products can make you rich faster than selling services. If you have a service-based business, however, if you figure out a part of your business that you can productize, you have a cleaning service. So you create a cleaning product that you can sell on e-commerce and through stores. Now you can productize a part of your service business and then scale the product part of your service-based business. Okay, cool. Rolanda, Fabian, question, does it matter what your business is, or can you make any business profitable? You can't make any business profitable. It has to be you have to have, so the 3 functions of business are innovation. Innovation is when you create something that the marketplace is screaming for or has an appetite for. Number 2 is marketing. Marketing is the art and science of discovering and developing in other people a desire for more and more of your product, your service, or your opportunity. So the first function of business is innovation. Second function is marketing. Third function is money management. Money management is managing your money in such a way that the outgo does not exceed the income, so the upkeep does not become the downfall. So those three things will make a business successful. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay, Zach has a number. We're going to cut it off? Oh, I'm going to do the honors? I can't think of a good reason. So we have 1,085 people who filled out the form, and the person in 444. Wow, what a number. So the person in spot 4, number 444. Hold on. He's got to scroll. There's a lot of people. We got to scroll. Louis Bennett. Ultimate Value Services. Are you still there? Are you excited? You just won $100. Oh, but wait, there's more. Let's give away a chance. So Louis won the $100 cash. Okay. So now we're going to do it for the general admission ticket for the Make More Offers Challenge. The Make More Offers Challenge is the methodology that I've helped more people in my entire business career than any other thing I've done in my entire business career. I'm going to have to change this number. Okay, we're going to change this number to 99. Okay. And then we're going to generate another number. Somebody's going to win a general admission ticket to the challenge. Number 17. Number 17, close to the top. Let's go. Who is it? Fast Movers. Jasmine Majors. Jasmine, are you still there? What's that?
Yeah, her handle is
Hito Jasmine 2010 too. But it's okay. You know who you are. You want to Make More Offers Challenge ticket. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ask one of our previous Make More Offers Challenge attendees to come share a testimony with me that she shared with me a while ago, so I can take an intermission. And so she comes to our Bible study every Wednesday. She was on the Make More Offers Challenge, and she's looking like, how dare you call me up here? I got to call somebody up here, and I know that you have a testimony, so do you mind? Of course not. Okay, you were looking at me like I was about to get like kung food. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick intermission. She's got a microphone, and it won't make noise in here. That's a microphone. It's a Catchbox microphone. And so this is Alicia West, and she's going to come up here. Come on up here, Alicia. This is Alicia West, and I'm going to get her to share a testimony. Thank you. Yeah. Stand over here in front of this camera and just share your testimony and take probably 3 or 4 minutes because I'll be right back.
3 or 4 minutes. Awesome. So this is going to be my first YouTube video. This is my first YouTube video. Thanks for my support, guys. No, but as Myron said, I've been coming to the Bible studies consistently, and I took my first Make More Offers Challenge in November, the first week, and I was sitting there and I was like, okay, what do I do? And I decided, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a go. And I decided to speak on abundance, and I said, you know what? Let's just make an offer. So I started posting regularly on my social media and was like, hey, don't know if you're interested, but I'm doing a 90-day Step Into Your Abundance challenge. It's $5K. And I had people sign up, and I was like, oh, okay. So, and consistently we have been hearing that it's easier to make a lot of money in a little bit of time rather than to make a little money over a long period of time. And it's absolutely true. So at the end of the day, just kind of overcoming those initial fears and unlearning all the things that we have been taught to finally come to a place of saying, like, you can do it. 1,000% you can do it. And it's just stepping outside of your box and realizing that if you don't put it out there and don't give people the opportunity to buy it, they will never buy it. So there's greatness within you. put it out there, let people know that there is greatness within you so that way they can take part of it. They need what you have. Where is Myron? I am done talking. We're done. I would love to give this back to you.
That was very fast for a minute. Wow.
Yeah, you know.
Thank
Success loves speed. You know.
Give it up for Alicia, y'all. Thank you. Oh, you keep that. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that an amazing testimony? So we did one giveaway so far. We got plenty more where that came from. So, whew. How long have I been going? Have I been going for an hour yet? I've been going for a whole hour already. Sheesh, time flies when you're having a blast. In fact, I think what I'm going to do as we accumulate more questions. Oh, so we're talking about Fast Track Millionaire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all. And so I showed you already in the Fast Track Millionaire formula, I showed you why fast is important, right? And the person that makes $1 million a year doesn't just make more money than the person who makes $40,000 a year. They're rich because they make money faster. They're not rich because they make more money. So here's the reality. That people underestimate the importance of speed when it comes to making money. And that's why I talked about that. And other people underestimate the importance of making money. That blows my mind. Like, people underestimate the importance of making money. In fact, they don't just underestimate it, they kind of discount it as if like making money is this evil activity that you have to make an excuse for. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? Right? People say, yeah, I did really well last year, but I gave a bunch of money to charity. Like you have to justify it. But I'm also giving back. I'm not giving back. I don't ever give back. Right? So just so y'all know, when I give money to charity, I'm not giving it back because I didn't get anything from the charity in the first place. I'm just giving. And I don't have to put back on it to justify the fact that I made some money. And neither do you. I mean, you can if you want to, but I would recommend highly against it. So it's like the government and Hollywood has programmed us to believe that there's something inherently wrong with making money. Well, I submit to you that is not accurate. I'd said it in a very kind way. I wanted to say it's dumb as a box of rocks, but I resisted. So, in the scriptures, I believe, first of all, let me say this. I believe that money is good. Now, you can believe that or not, but I believe that it's good. Not only do I believe that money is good, I believe that wealth is good. Why do I believe that wealth is good? So, here's how. I believe that, here's why I believe that wealth is good. I believe that wealth is good, first and foremost, because the first time gold, which represents wealth all around the world, has since the beginning of time, gold, the first time it's mentioned in the Bible, God said it was good. So, and God doesn't change. And when you're studying the Bible, there's a concept. There are some principles that you want to apply. And some of you are wondering, why is he talking about the Bible? Because I teach business and wealth creation from a biblical perspective. That's why I'm talking about the Bible, because that is the foundation of my understanding. Okay, so in case some of you are new to my channel, right? So I believe that wealth is inherently good, and gold has represented wealth since the beginning of time. And when I was a kid, I am the most curious, ridiculously curious human being maybe you will ever have the privilege or not so much of meeting, right? And so what does that mean? When I was a kid, I wondered, well, gold is gold, and brass is gold, and copper is gold in color. So why is gold worth more than brass and worth more than copper? Did anybody else ever wonder that? Yeah? Okay, good. A couple of us are unusual people. couple of us unusual people did. Anyway, I wonder that. But do you know why? Because gold is a type of eternity. What does that even mean? Well, copper and brass both corrode, but gold does not corrode. So it's a type of agelessness and eternity and infinity. So the thing that makes it wealth, the thing that makes it represent abundance and wealth is the fact that it does not corrode, which is a type of eternity. It's like, no wonder God told the children of Israel when they built the tabernacle to overlay things in gold, because it was representative of eternity, right? All numbers have significance, and And that in itself is significant. Like 1 is the number of unity, the unity of God. 2 is the number of separation or holiness because of the holiness of God. 3 is the number of God. Let us make man in our image, not let me make man in my image. 3 is the number of God. And even though God is one, he expresses himself in 3. I'm one person, but I am a body, soul, and spirit. But that doesn't make me 3 different people. It just makes me one person with 3 different aspects. Are y'all tracking? And so 3 is the number of God. 4 is the number of the earth. There are 4 directions on the earth. North, south, east, and west. There are 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall. There are 4 levels of value on the earth, the lowest level being implementation, the next to the lowest level being unification, the next to the highest level is communication, the highest level is imagination. Those are 4 levels of value on the earth. There are 4 levels of parenting for 4 levels of child development. There are 4 levels of teaching for 4 levels of learning. 4 is the number of the earth. The earth is round, but we talk about the 4 corners of the earth. We've all heard of the 4 winds of the earth. 4 is the number of the earth. That's why I kind of got, ooh, when the 444 came up. I was thinking about the earth. Anyway, 5 is the number of grace. We have 5 fingers on our hand with which to give a gift. We have 5 fingers on our hand with which to receive a gift. 5 is the number of grace. 6 is the number of man. Man was created on the 6th day. It's also the number of falsehood. Probably, 600 is actually the number of falsehood, but 6 plus 0 is 6. So 6 is the number of man, but it's also the number of falsehood, probably because man believes Satan's falsehood. 7 is the number of completion, maturity, being finished. God rested on the 7th day. 8 is the number of infinity, eternity, abundance, and the new beginning. So that's the number 8. 8's the number of abundance. Okay, why is that important? Well, because the substance that represents wealth and has since the beginning of time is mentioned in the first book in the Bible exactly 8 times. Isn't that amazing? Like, God's attention to detail is very godlike. Right? So wrap your mind around that. Okay? So when we're studying the Bible, we want to make sure we apply some principles to make sure we don't make up something and think that the Bible says it because I conjured it up in my dome. Right? So I have to apply the law of first mention. What's the law of first mention? However God first mentions anything in Scripture, that's his original design for that thing. Because I am the Lord, I change not. So if he created something for something, that's the thing it was created for, and that's the thing it should do. If he said it was wrong yesterday, it's still wrong today. Right? Because God doesn't change. Okay, so the law of first mention. Then we have the law of definitions. What is that? That is, I have to know the definition of every word in a verse in order for me to understand that verse or interpret that verse. If I haven't studied the words and I don't know what the words mean, I can't know what the word means. Y'all tracking? Okay. Third is the law of context. What's the law of context? I have to study the Bible in context of itself. In order for me to understand a passage of Scripture, I have to understand it in context with the Scriptures that go before it, the Scriptures that go after it, and all the other Scriptures in the Bible. If my understanding of this verse is not in line with the Scriptures that go before it, and, the Scriptures, and don't confirm the Scriptures that go before it, the Scriptures that go after it, and every other verse in Scripture, I have misinterpreted it. So people say the Bible contradicts itself. No, what contradicts the Bible is your misunderstanding of the Bible. Are y'all tracking? Okay. Now, I said all that to say this. The law of first mention. Well, if I want to understand, that's why Genesis is my favorite book in the Bible. Why? Because it's the first book. And so, like, if I want to understand life, I can pretty much understand life by studying Genesis. Right? Right? I mean, I want to study the whole Bible, but, like, Genesis is like, right, for me. And so the number that represents wealth is the number 8. Gold, the substance that represents wealth, is mentioned 8 times in the book of Genesis. That's pretty mind-blowing, right? And then God used the adjective good in Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1, by the way, describes the first 6 days of creation. Genesis chapter 2 describes the 7th day. So it's already finished, right? So here's what's really interesting. In Genesis chapter 1, God used the adjective good to describe what he had made 7 times. And God said, let there be light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God said that it was good. Y'all tracking? So God used the adjective good to describe the things that he had made 7 times in Genesis chapter 1. The 8th time God used the adjective good, he was talking about gold in Genesis chapter 2, verse 11, which is the substance that represents wealth, and 8 is the number of abundance. God's attention to detail is very godlike. Here's what it says in Genesis chapter 2, verse 11. It says, and there's gold in that land, and the gold of that land is good. So I believe that wealth is good because God said so. So somebody else thinks it's bad. I'm going to let you go figure that out on your own time, but I'm not subscribing. Okay? Y'all tracking? Okay, now, it gets more better. Every time, everybody say every time. Every time gold is mentioned in the entire book of Genesis, without exception, it's always mentioned in conjunction with God's people. Which tells me that God put wealth and abundance on the earth for his people. Huh, that's fascinating. What do you mean it's mentioned in conjunction with, it's right, Siri said, I'm not sure I understand. You don't understand. But we are about to make it vividly and implicitly clear. Okay, so that was the best Siri interjection of all times. Okay, so so the first time gold is mentioned, it's mentioned. In fact, I'm going to go to the board. I'm going to write it on the board because this is really good. I don't want y'all to miss this. First time gold is mentioned in Genesis chapter 1. And while I'm over here, if I can get somebody from my team, I'm going to get my phone app. I can get somebody to plug that fan in and point it at me. That would be I would be greatly appreciative. Okay, because I'm sweating like I'm at PE class. Okay, so Genesis chapter, the first time it's mentioned, the first time gold is mentioned, it's mentioned as providence for God's people. What is providence? To provide in advance. Genesis chapter 2, verse 11 and 12, there's gold in the Garden of Eden. Can anybody think of why that's a little strange? They didn't have to pay for anything. There are two people in the Garden of Eden. They're married to each other. There's not one store. Am I not standing close enough? I'm good? Okay. So there's not one store. There's nothing for sale. There's nothing to buy. And God put gold in the Garden of Eden. But he didn't just put it there. He made sure he told us he put it there. Why? Because he wants us to understand that opulence and abundance are natural in the environment for the children of the king. How many of y'all tracking? Okay, so providence for God's people is the first time. The second time gold is mentioned, it's mentioned as a possession by God's people. Genesis chapter 13, verse number 2. What does it tell us in Genesis chapter 13, verse number 2? It says, and Abram was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. I have a trick question for you. Was Abram rich? No, he was very rich, right? Everybody said yes. He wasn't rich. He was the scripture says, and Abram was very rich. Abram is the patriarch of the faith. Abram is the friend of God. And God told him, if you'll leave the land of the familiar and go to the land that I'll show you, I'm going to bless you in ways you can't bless yourself. I'm going to give you things you can't get yourself. I'm going to bless those that bless you, curse those that curse you, and in you all the families of the earth will be blessed. I'm going to take the source of your shame, make it the source of your shame, make it the source of your fame, and all the families of the earth will be blessed. And Abram left. He trusted God, and God counted to him for righteousness. And guess what happened? That was in Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 13, and Abram was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. I love the fact that it didn't just tell us that he was rich, but it told us how rich he was. Very. And I want to be like Father Abraham. Can I get a witness? It's so interesting. Abram was so rich. I want you to wrap your mind around this concept. Abram was so rich that in Genesis chapter 14, when the 5 nations came against Sodom and Gomorrah and took all the people captive and his nephew Lot and all of Lot's stuff captive, Abram, this 80-year-old man, rolled up his sleeves and said, not my nephew. The scripture says he armed the servants that were born in his house. And he and a couple hundred other men, I think it was like 375 other men, they went out and fought against 5 nations and won. Like, we've been going to church our whole life. How many of y'all ever heard about the Abraham war effort? Right? Right? Abraham, he said, I got enough money to fight for my family. By the way, this is one of the reasons why it's important to have money. Because sometimes people in your family are going to be in trouble, and they're going to need somebody who can come to bat for them and somebody who can go to war for them. Y'all tracking? Abram was very rich. I'm glad it didn't just tell us that he was rich. It told us how rich he was. But I'm glad it didn't just tell us how rich he was. I'm glad it also told us how he was rich. Because if it wouldn't have put this part in there, people would have said, yeah, the Bible says that Abram was rich, but it wasn't talking about money. It was talking about rich with a godly heritage. That sounds good, but that ain't what's in the Bible. It says he was rich in cattle, in silver, and gold. So it told us how he was rich. Not exactly, not with credit, right? So, not just right. He was rich in righteousness, but not just righteousness. He was rich in money. Okay? So possession by God's people. The next time, it's proof. Proof of God's blessing on God's people. Remember in Eleazar, I think it's Genesis chapter 24, Eleazar goes to find a wife for Isaac. And he prays, dear Lord, like, bless my master, bless me on this journey for my master. My camels are thirsty. I'm thirsty. Y'all know camels drink a lot of water? A lot of water. Okay, that's a poem. A lot of water. Okay, so camels drink a lot of water. And he said, Lord, I'm gonna sit by this well, and when a woman comes by who's getting water for her family, I'm gonna ask her to give me some water. And if she gives me a drink and says, let me get some water for your camels also, then let that be the one. Now that's a relatively specific prayer, right? And so Rebecca comes by. He says, do you mind if I have a drink of water? She said, oh, let me get you some water and get your camel some water. Eleazar said, who are your people? He said, well, you know, my father is Laban. Laban? That's my master's people. He said, go back to my people, find a wife for my son. So, hey, she said, come stay at our house. We got food and water enough for you and your whole entourage. He was blown away. He's like, no wonder Abram serves God. No wonder Abraham serves God. I just bless my master me in this journey, and now this is happening. And he goes to Laban's house. I'm sorry, this wasn't Laban. This was Rebekah's parents. This was not Laban. I'm sorry, I got a little confused. He goes because Laban was Rachel's father. This is a different relative. But anyway, he goes. He tells them the story. He tells the story to Rebekah's family, and he says, I prayed. I asked God for this thing, and your daughter came by, and I want you to understand something. Here's what Eleazar said. My master, God has made him very great, which means very wealthy. He said, and my master has a son, and he didn't say he's going to, he said he hath given him all that he has. And that's the son I'm looking for a wife for. And your daughter is an answer to prayer. Her family said, Rebecca, it looks like God's working here, but don't you want to stay and hang out with us for another week? Rebecca said, Mama, did you hear what this man said? This rich man gave his son everything he got. He's looking for a wife for her. He thinks it's me, and you want me to wait so he can go find somebody else? I got to go, Mama. I got to go. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness from the ladies in the house? Right? I got to go. Right? So, and what did he do? He gave Rebecca's family gold bracelets and earrings and necklaces because the wealth was proof of God's blessing on God's people. Somebody asked me, I used to be assistant pastor in a church, but even when I was assistant pastor in a church, I was still an entrepreneur. And I had somebody in church say, Brother Myron, I don't understand something. Why do you care so much about business? I said, because God is a God of abundance, and I do not want to misrepresent Christ in the marketplace. That's why I focus on creating wealth. Okay. One of the last times we see it in Genesis 41, 42, and then in this one, this is the only time we see somebody who's not one of God's children having gold, and they handed it over to God's children, which is a provision for God's people. And it says that Pharaoh took the chain off his neck, put it on Joseph's neck, and took the gold ring off his finger and put it on Joseph's finger. So if this is how gold is mentioned in the first book of the Bible, now I know the purpose of gold. The purpose of gold is for God's people, which causes people to ask the question, well, if that's the case, Myron, why are so many of God's people broke? That's a good question. Because I've got good news and then some other news. Can y'all handle the other news? Well, I'm gonna tell you the good news first. What happened? Okay, wow, that was weird. Okay, so here's the good news. The good news is the devil can't block your blessing. Like he can't. Satan knows he can't keep wealth from you because it is your inheritance as the seed of Abraham by faith in Christ Jesus. He knows he can't keep your blessing from you. So guess what he does? Since he can't block your blessing from you, he mental blocks you from your blessing by making you think that something's wrong with it. Satan uses the same tools today used back then. In fact, it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse number 3, it says, I fear lest by any means that as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that's in Christ. What does that mean? The same way Satan deceived Eve is the same way he's going to deceive you. How did Satan deceive Eve? Eve said, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the trees in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, neither shall you touch it lest you die. Here's what Satan said, you shall not surely die. And then here's what he said, for God doth know that the day you eat thereof, then your eyes will be open and you will be as gods, knowing good and evil. He said the way to be more like God is by disobeying God. That's the same deception Satan has today. So Satan, through religion, from Greek Catholicism down to Roman Catholicism, down to Roman Catholicism, down to Protestantism, has made people believe that poverty is piety and wealth is wickedness. And what happens is now people associate being poor with being godly. But being poor is associated with being religious, but it's not associated with being godly. Because God is not a God of poverty, he's a God of abundance. And I'm not saying God wants everybody to be rich. I'm not saying God wants all of his people to be rich. I'm saying the primary, wealth predominantly exists for God's people, and prosperity and abundance and financial freedom is God's design for God's people. And God has a design, but every now and then, he'll have an assignment for somebody that's different than the design, right? So I'm not saying God wants everybody to be rich, right? I don't know what his plan for you is, right? I don't know. But the reality is, if my assignment meant I needed to be poor, I'd be just as happy broke as I am rich. But it's not my assignment. It's probably not yours either. But Satan is really, really good at getting people to think they'll be closer to God by doing something that God told them not to do. So he mental blocks you from your blessing by making you think something's wrong with it, by having preachers for decades misinterpreting verses like the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. But the word all there is not the word all every single solitary. It's all kinds, all types, all manner. So it doesn't mean that the love of money is the root of every single solitary evil in the world. It means the love of money is the root of all types, all manner, all kinds of evil in the world. What does that mean? People will do all manner, all kinds, all types of evil because they love money. But if it meant that the love of money is the root of every single solitary evil in the world, then Eve would have eaten the fruit because Satan paid her. Well, we know that ain't true. Sometimes we have to just think about it, right? And so this is why, there's one more verse, by the way. So the book of Ecclesiastes was written by King Solomon, right? And King Solomon, in his early days, he was fully yielded to God. At the beginning of his life, in his youth, he was fully yielded to God. In the middle of his life, he thought his abundance was the result of him being the man. And he totally disregarded what God told him to do. And he was backslidden as the day is long and got away from God and let evil women turn his heart from God. Okay, cool. I mean, to the point of worshiping false gods. He was all the way gone. He was out there in them streets, right? And then at the end of his life, he woke up and realized, I've wasted my life. I've wasted my life chasing things that don't bring fulfillment. And so he wrote the book of Ecclesiastes. And the book of Ecclesiastes, the theme of the book of Ecclesiastes is life under heaven. It says life under the sun, but it's life under heaven. So Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse number 26. Here's what it says. So after he came back to his senses and after he repented and got restored in his relationship with God, here's what he concluded. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. For God giveth to the man that is good in his sight. And we're about to do another couple of giveaways. Okay? So this verse has two people. Okay? God giveth to the man that is good in his sight. Here's what it says, verse 26. For God giveth to the man that is good in his sight, both, well, it scrolled on me. Good in his sight, wisdom, knowledge, and joy. That sounds pretty good. I'll take some of that. Give me 3 pounds of wisdom, 7 pounds of knowledge, and 100 pounds of joy. Right? I'll take some of that. Yeah. Load me up, right? Okay. Then it says, but. It didn't say and. It says but, which means whatever he's giving this person ain't the same thing he about to give that person. This joke over here in trouble. Right? But to the sinner he giveth travail. Yep, travail. And to gather and to heap up. What's that? That's called hustle and grind. Why? He gives to the sinner travail to gather and to heap up. So this guy makes all this money from his travail, hard labor, and gathering and heaping up. Why? That he may give to him that is good before God. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. What does that mean? What's vanity and vexation of spirit talking about? Vanity and vexation of spirit are talking about the fact that if you live your life for just what this world has to offer, you've wasted your life and tortured yourself. That is the theme of the book of Ecclesiastes. So we're going to do another giveaway. What are we giving away this time? Well, we're going to give away a bunch of stuff because Myron goes and goes and goes like an Energizer bunny, and then he realizes, oh my goodness, we've been here an hour and a half and I only did one giveaway. So let's give away some more stuff. Who's ready to win some stuff? By the way, if you want to win and you're just joining us, if you want to win and you want to join us, if you just joined us and you want to win, go to kingdomwealthsecrets.com. It's at the top of the chat on YouTube. You want to make sure you fill out the form completely, your name, your phone number, your email address, your YouTube handle, which is the name that shows up when you post a comment on YouTube. Put all that in there, and then we're going to do a drawing. We're going to give away some money. We already gave away $100 and a general admission ticket. We're going to give away a couple more hundreds later today. We're going to give away $500. I'm going to give away another one of these Apple products up here. What did we give away? Did we give away any Apple products yet? Okay, we'll give away an Apple product. I'm going to give away a VIP ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. We about to give some stuff away, y'all. So go to kingdomwealthsecrets.com and fill out the form because we about to give some stuff away. All right. So we ready? By the way, we'll wait till 11:30. Okay, cool. So we got 3 more minutes. I'll give you all time. If you don't have your stuff in there yet, get your stuff in there. The last giveaway I'm going to do today is the private jet trip with me and my team and 2 of my VIP day students. You will not get to ask me any coaching questions on that trip, but you'll get to watch me coach 2 of my VIP day students on that trip, and you'll get to watch me speak at a conference where millions of dollars of revenue will be generated by the grace of God, and it's going to be mind-blowing. So get ready. So if you haven't filled out your form yet, you want to do that. So let me explain. We're going to give away a VIP ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. What's the Make More Offers Challenge? The Make More Offers Challenge is a challenge I do once a month, and you can find a ticket for that at makemoreofferschallenge.com if you just want to go buy one. The general admission ticket we gave away earlier, it's $97. You get to watch the challenge in a Facebook group. It's Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. to noon. We record it. The recording stays up until 11 a.m. the next day, right? The VIP ticket, which we're about to give away today, we're about to give away this in a few minutes, the VIP ticket is $297. You get to come an hour early and watch me and listen to me answer questions for entrepreneurs for an hour before the general admission starts. Okay? And then we have another level. It's called the Platinum. I'm going to give away a Platinum ticket later. Platinum tickets are $597, and if you're a Platinum, you get to answer, like you get to ask questions. Right? And so everybody you don't have to fill out the form more than once, by the way. If you fill out the form once, your name is in the drawing every time we push that button, right? So they can't fill it out more than once. So that makes it even easier. Okay? So we're going to give away on this break right now, we're going to give away a couple $100 and some AirPod Pros and VIP ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. So, we ready? Is it 11:30? It's not 11:30. So let me see. Do you have any questions up there that look good, Zach? Do you want me to answer? Okay. It's 11:30. Okay, so here we go. We're going to enter the number. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are just joining us, we have a random number generator. And so we put the number of people who filled out that form at kingdomwealthsecrets.com, and then we push the button, and it generates the number. So that's the number right there? The number. So what did I say I was giving away first? $100. Oh, okay. Oh, so we already did 17. Okay. Oh, I thought you were telling me that was the number. You pushed it. Okay, so I'm going to push the button, and then it's going to randomly generate a number that's a line item for somebody's name, and we're going to give away $100 with this button push. $100 goes to number 1283. What just happened? Somebody just signed up, and now you just won. It is Portia. That's Portia. Yeah. Portia Nickelberry. What's her YouTube handle? Portia Nickelberry. You just won yourself $100. $100. We giving away $100 twice, right? Yeah. Let's give away another $100. Do you need to update the number? Okay, let's update the number. We're going to update the number and give away another $100. I'm going to drink some of this protein shake. Okay, wow. Okay, we're at 1321. I'm going to push the button again. We're going to give away another $100. Let's go. Number 711. 711. Bring me back a cup of coffee, please. No donuts. We don't do donuts, okay? Okay. 711 is Nikki Moore. Oh, YouTube handle Nikki Moore? You just won $100. So I've given away $300 so far, right? Yeah, you get 100, you get 100, you get 100. Okay, so now the next giveaway, I'm going to give away some iPad. I'm going to give away some AirPods, AirPod Pros. So somebody's about to win some brand new NIB. NIB stands for New in the Box. I learned that when I used to sell stuff on YouTube. Some brand new NIB AirPod Pros, and we're going to change the number again. Okay, and I'm going to push the button. Oh. Okay. Okay. And number 278 just won some brand new AirPod Pros. By the way, the stuff that y'all winning is going to go in the mail to y'all today. For those of y'all who are winning money, I'm going to have somebody on my team reach out to you and get your Cash App name. So in that way, it'll be easier for me to send it to you via Cash App or Zelle or something like that. And everybody who opted in today, by the way, whether you win anything right now or not, everybody's going to get something. I'm not even going to, like, within 15 minutes or no more than 30, when this live is over, everybody's going to win a special training course from me. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because it's so important. So everybody's going to win something. So it might be a little longer. It might be an hour. It might be a little longer. So it might be an hour. It's all good. But it'll be today. So Tashini Moy, spell that for me. M-O-Y-E. Tashini Moy. You just won. Is that who won the AirPod Pros? Yeah. AirPod Pros. AirPod Pros. Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Okay.
We'll put them all in the chat. All the winners will put in the chat.
Okay, we're going to put the winners in the chat. So what did I give? I gave away $100. What do I have to give away? Let's get. Oh, the VIP ticket. Before I do the VIP ticket, I'm going to give away a Trash Man to Cash Man book signed and a B.O.S.S Moves book signed. So we're going to do two more, and then I'll save the other one. So that way we can make our way through some of these giveaways. This was fun. I feel like I'm on a game show. I just wanted to be on a game. I used to watch Alex Trebek and say, man, that guy's got the best job in the world, right? So now here I am. Shucks. Okay. All right. So this is for Trash Man to Cash Man, how anyone can get rich starting from anywhere. By the way, this book sells for $20 on my website, trashman2cashman.com. So don't go buy it on Amazon. I had a guy who was here just this past week who was at a mastermind of mine. He said he just bought this book last week on Amazon for $142. Right? It's a $20 book, sells for $20 on my website. The ebook is $10 on Amazon. So if you want to buy the ebook, get that on Amazon. If you want to buy the physical copy, just go to trashman2cashman.com. And I'm not telling you that because I'm trying to sell you a book. I'm telling you that I'm trying to save you some money. For those of you who are watching, if you don't win the book, you know where to go get it. Okay. So let's generate. Boom. 130. Number 130. Yeah, we keep going back and forth, the top to the bottom. There's a lot of scrolling going on over here. at Skillionaire HQ, y'all. There's a lot of scrolling going on.
130 is
Sean, is it McLeod? Yeah, that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, McLeod. Yeah, McLeod. Yeah, Sean McLeod. Sean McLeod. You just won Trash Man to Cash Man.
22.
Okay, what's that? Sean McLeod 5022. You won that. Then we're gonna give away the Boss Moves book. I got a guy in my inner circle. He read this book. He didn't before he was in the inner circle. Before he was in my inner circle. My inner circle, by the way, is $155,000, and I'm not trying to sell it to you because you can't even join it because it's full. Okay, we only take 100 people, and we already got 100 people. So, but this guy in my inner circle, he bought this book. He did what it said. He made over $800,000 in 2 months, and he said, "Man, I made that much money doing that. I need to join his inner circle." Boom, that part. So you're gonna win this book. This is my business brain in a book. So this is 1423, and now here we go. Oh, by the way, while you're all here, make sure you subscribe to my channel because we're gonna do this every now and then. You know, every so often we're gonna do this again. So number 1397. Derek Sutton, you won the Boss Moves book. These are signed. The chef? The chef, you won the book. These are signed copies of the book, by the way. And now we're going to give away a VIP ticket to the next Make More Offers Challenge, Make More Offers Challenge number 24. We got to update these numbers. This is so wild. This is a blast. I don't know if y'all are having fun. I don't know when we can do this again, but I hope it's soon. Right? Okay. All right, here we go. Number 1295 just won a VIP ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. Woo. So, that's, by the way, the
Is Greg Moore.
Greg Moore.
And then it's Greg Moore 175.
Greg Moore 175. In case we got more than one Greg Moore, you know which one you are. Greg Moore 175. So, by the way, we're gonna be giving. We got so many. We just lost some honor. So we got so many prizes we still have to give away. We still have $200 more, $200 more in cash. We got a VIP platinum ticket to give away. We've got an iPhone 14, which we'll give away on the next break. We got $500 in cash to give away. We got, man, I need to be about the business of giving some stuff away. Let's give away $100 right now. All right. In fact, let's get this money out the way. Let's give away $200 right now. We're gonna do 2 more drawings for $100 each. Because I'm like, man, I'm going to be here all day giving this stuff away. Okay? Oh, man, I'm telling you. And then keeping up with who you got to give away stuff to is great. It's great. Okay, so we ready? Okay, this is for $100, and it's number 124. Scroll to the top. Zach is getting his finger workout today. He'll have the strongest right hand in the United States of America. Erica Carter. Make some noise, make some noise. Same YouTube handle. You just won $100 in cash. And let's give away another $100 in cash. That'll be the last $100 in cash. We got to update the number. We got to update. Like, there's a whole lot that goes into this. Giving away all this stuff ain't as easy as I make it look. Okay? Okay, we good? All right. We're good. $100. Number 423. 423. And that is going to be, it's going to be almost there. It's coming to. McKendra Sellers. Woo! $100. What's that? Ashira Batya is her YouTube handle. Yep. Okay, so you just won $100 cash, and that's all I'm going to give away right now, because I'm exhausted. What's that? You're from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania? I used to live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. How crazy is that? All right, so here we go. We just gave away a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go sit over here. Now I'm going to take some questions, and then I'm going to show you all the $1 million formula. So Zach, you got some questions for me, bro? I'm going to eat a Scooby snack, y'all. I'm sorry for chewing in front of the camera, but that's what you do when you're hungry. You chew. And everybody here has seen somebody chew before, so don't be tripping, okay? I have no idea. Say that. Ask. The keys of the house of David. Somebody asked me, can I speak on the keys of the house of David? I can't. I don't know anything about it. But now you got me curious, and I got to go look up the keys of the house of David.
Good open loop. So the other one was, Myron, what about AI and using it to generate sales if one does not have a sales team? If you would use that, which AI
Okay, so this is a really great question. Who asked this question?
It's R.A.
R.A. asked me the question, what about AI? Would I use it to make sales if I didn't have a sales team? And if so, which AI do I recommend? So I'm going to say a whole bunch of stuff about AI. One of the things the Bible says about the end times is that knowledge will increase like at an exponential rate. Okay? It's amazing how many things, how many prophecies we see being fulfilled today. So I don't know how acute your awareness is of the setup that they've been getting people ready for is, but I hope it's really acute. They first started with the COVID-19, which I'm not fully persuaded was not a fully intentional bioweapon. I didn't say it was. I said I'm not fully persuaded that it wasn't. But it gave an opportunity to create a lot of propaganda, regardless of what you believe about COVID-19. Propaganda is information that is disseminated for the purpose of controlling people. And so a whole bunch of things happened during that, which like people policing other people, like citizens policing citizens. And if you don't believe what I believe, then you're evil, right? If you don't believe my belief, then that makes you evil. And understand that you don't really have any enemies with skin on them, right? The scripture says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness in this world. So we don't, like, our real enemies are not people. People may be being used by the enemies of the world, the flesh, or the devil, but they're not our enemies. And so AI, I personally don't have any desire ever to own an electric car. Okay, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with owning an electric car. You can own whatever you want to. I mean, I test drove a Tesla, and it was a very fun, probably the most fun car I've ever. May not be the fastest car I ever drove, but it got faster than any car I ever drove. Right? It wasn't playing. I felt like I was on a rocket ship. But I don't want to have an electric car. I don't want a car that somebody can tap into. I don't want a self-driving car. I don't want somebody who does not have my best interest in mind to be able to hack into my car and drive me to where they want me to go or drive me off a cliff. And you say, I'm not afraid of it. I'm just aware that it is a real possibility. So I don't like that. AI, just the very concept of artificial intelligence. Okay, so let me say what artificial intelligence is first. Artificial intelligence is computer programs that can program themselves. They can read, they can go through information. They've been programmed to disseminate, like collect information and conclude things based on that. So it's AI, for the lack of a better way to describe it, is a self-programming computer. Well, computers can sort information way faster than any human. So you get an AI that has the ability to aggregate and sort information and reprogram itself. It's going to reprogram itself based on the parameters of the person who programmed it in the first place. What does that mean? That means, like, you have these AIs, they're going to give you the answers that the people who programmed them believed, even if the people that programmed them were wrong. So understand that. However, like, the internet has been used to do all kinds of evil, but it's also been used to do all kinds of good. So it's like people talk about gun violence, right? Well, the reality is there's no such thing as gun violence. There's only people violence. Some people use guns to be violent. There are people who have intentionally run over people with cars, but nobody talks about car violence. There have been people who have stabbed people with knives. Nobody talks about knife violence. So violence is in the people. It's not in the thing that they use. It's just an inanimate object. So the internet is not bad, but it can be used for bad. The more powerful a tool is, the more bad it can do in a shorter period of time. So AI has the ability to be programmed and like, quote, vaccine mandates, which were really shot mandates, because in the drug industry, a drug has to be tested for at least 15 years before it can be deemed a vaccine in real life, right? unless, of course, they want to tell us something else, in which case they can, and then they tell you, and then people, they tried to force people, they didn't try to force people to get it, they tried to peer pressure people into getting it, and I'm not saying you should get it or shouldn't get it. You're an adult, make up your own mind. But I am saying, if it's so good for me, why do you have to make me do it? I'll say that. I'm going to show you something. Anybody have a piece of paper? And a pen? Thank you, Stephanie. You're amazing. Can I borrow your pen? I'll give it back. So I'm going to write something on this side of this piece of paper. Okay, so if I said to you, if I give you this piece of paper, if I said to you, I'll give you this piece of paper, and the person who gets it gets what I wrote on here. Now, you can't see what it says. I'm going to read it to you. On this piece of paper, I wrote, you can have $1,000. Who wants it? But I also wrote something on the other side, and I wrote on the other side, so I'm going to give you the piece of paper. I'm going to give you the piece of paper, and you get what's on this side, but you have to do the thing on the other side. So if I said, I'm going to give you the piece of paper, I'm going to give you the piece of paper, and you get what's on this side. It's yours. But you have to do what's on the other side. What would your question be? What's on the other side? And you'd probably want to what? See what's on the other side. And would you want to see what's on the other side before or after you make the decision? Okay, now, what if I said, I am not willing to show you the other side, and I'm not even willing to talk about the other side? What would you conclude? No deal. But what would you conclude about me? I'm trying to hide something, right? So if I showed you a piece of paper and said, you can have what's on this side, but you have to do what's on the other side, and I'm unwilling to show you the other side, and I'm unwilling to have a conversation about the other side, then you should automatically know I am attempting to hide something. That's the problem with cancel culture. That is the problem. Anytime somebody wants you to buy into one side of an argument, when one of the laws of thermodynamics is the law of polarity, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, for every positive there's a negative, every negative there's a positive. If somebody wants you to buy into the idea that any argument only has one side and they're unwilling to discuss the other side, it's because they already know the other side is not in your best interest. It's in their best interest. This is why it's dangerous. This is why censorship is one of the most dangerous things in the world. Like, I can believe something. Let's say, like I said earlier, I believe that wealth and abundance are godly and godlike. If I am willing to have a conversation with somebody who disagrees with me, it's probably because I know I have no argument or my argument is weak. Right? Let's say you got somebody in the KKK and they think all black people are like idiots and they're not real people and all that. Let's just say they believe all that. Cool. And we're gonna have a conversation about it. Not a debate, not an argument. We're gonna have a conversation about why that doesn't make sense. If I am unwilling to have the conversation, if I'm afraid of the conversation, it's because there's something I know I don't know. If they're afraid of the conversation, it's because there's something they know they don't know, or something they believe they know is not true. And see, we live in a society now that wants to silence opposing voices. The opposing voice is not the evil. The silencing of the opposing voice is the evil. Are y'all tracking? Why is the silencing of an opposing voice evil? Because you know somebody somewhere does not have your best interest in mind. So if I gave you this piece of paper and said, okay, you get what's on this side, and here's what it says on this side, you get $1,000. And you take this deal, you buy into, okay, I'll take the piece of paper. I want the $1,000, but you agree to do what's on the other side before you know what the other side is. Are you smart or probably not? Probably not. Because on the other side, it says you owe me $10,000. And that's the world we live in that wants to silence all opposing voices. They want to show you one side of an argument. Thank you, Stephanie. They want to show you one side of an argument They want to defend that one side of the argument, and it doesn't matter what the argument is. It doesn't matter if the argument's racism. It doesn't matter if the argument's homosexuality. It doesn't matter if the argument's the economy. It doesn't matter if the argument is prosperity. It doesn't matter if the argument's the Bible. It doesn't matter if the argument is whether everybody needs to have a college degree. If you are unwilling to examine the other side of any argument, it's because you know your argument is weak. Anyway, just something to think about. And the reason I said all of that is because I'm about to talk about something that has really it has major implications on both sides. Okay? That's why I said all of that. Okay. So artificial intelligence and robotics has the potential ability to totally eradicate the human race. Because artificial intelligence can already think faster than us, and robots are already stronger than us. So it has the potential to totally, what if the person who programmed the artificial intelligence believes, like Bill Gates does, that the biggest problem in the world is overpopulation? I'm just saying, right? And so I'm not saying, now with that in mind, it is a tool. If you are using a tool and you're aware of the tool, at least now you're responsible. To whom much is given, much is required. So here's why I said all that. If you're ever using a service and you can't figure out what the product is, you are the product. What does that mean? Well, like you got these businesses that give away free services. Like you got a Facebook page, right? Why do you have a Facebook page? Because you're the product. Every time you post something, say something, they're gathering all this data and they're selling that data to somebody else. You are the product. On Instagram, you are the product. On YouTube, you are the product. Be aware of the fact that you are the product. That doesn't mean you can say, well, I'm not going to be anybody's product. Well, okay, but at least you know, right? So if you're using artificial intelligence, that artificial intelligence is not just giving you information, it's gathering information from you about the information that you're gathering. So I said all of that to just so you know that when you start using artificial intelligence, now the machine has the ability to gather information from you and about you at a faster and faster rate. But guess what? It's like inevitable. It's inevitable. It's like cameras everywhere. Seeing everybody's faces, knowing where you are, what you're doing at all times, tracking every transaction that you do with your credit card or with your iPhone or with your, we all got here too late to stop it. So you may as well figure out how you can benefit from it as much as you can and just increase the level of awareness that you have when you're operating in any domain. Does that make sense? Okay, so with that in mind, if I were going to use AI, and I am, and I kind of already do, so if I were going to use AI, I would not use AI to make sales. And I know that this is probably the longest answer of the whole day, right? I would not use AI to make sales. I would use AI as a mental thought assistant or a communication assistant. So if I were going to use ChatGPT, for instance, I might ask it, hey, ChatGPT, give me 10 YouTube channels about wealth creation that could go viral. Boom. ChatGPT gives me that information. Okay, ChatGPT, give me 10 concepts from the Bible as topics for a YouTube video that could go viral, and I'll ask it to do that. ChatGPT, give me 10 titles of books that could become bestsellers in the arena of finance and business. And so I let it help me think. I wouldn't let it help me close sales, unless I said something like, ChatGPT, write me a sales letter. Like, for instance, so I have this book right here. This is one of my favorite books on copywriting. So copywriting is when you write sales copy, you write words that cause people to want to buy. So this is Evaldo Albuquerque's book called 16 Word Sales Letter. This book, it's so crazy because I think it costs like $80. And it's got 87 pages. And so basically it says, you answer one question. One belief, like you establish one belief and answer 10 questions. And this dude wrote a sales letter. I think it did $170 million in sales. And he said, and he learned how to speak English. He barely spoke English, then he learned how to speak English. And he wrote the sales letter for what's the name of that newsletter? Agora, for Agora Financial. He wrote a newsletter. It did like $170 million in sales. Agora is a $1 billion like newsletter company. They sell newsletters and they do over $1 billion a year in revenue. It's crazy, right? So I would take, for instance, and ask, okay, chat AI, what is the one belief that I need to get people to believe, blah, 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 and answer these 10 questions about that. So his whole sales letter process is one belief, 10 questions. One belief, 10 questions, right? And so he tells you what those 10 questions are in this book, the 16-word sales letter. So I might use it for something like that, but I wouldn't use it to close sales. So that's how I would use and will use artificial intelligence. I may ask artificial intelligence to give me 10 good concepts for a thumbnail on this topic, right? So what I'm doing is I'm using artificial intelligence to save me time, because time is the stuff that life is made of. So hopefully that answers that question. All right. So I'm going to teach, what do we want to do? I'm going to teach one more concept. I've been going for a while. I've been going for 2 hours, haven't I? Huh? I was going. That part. So I'm going to do another giveaway. What am I going to give away? I'm going to give away an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and no, I'm going to give away $500 first, then I'm going to give away the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So you getting the numbers ready? Okay, Zach's getting the numbers ready. I'm eating a Scooby snack because I'm so hungry. Y'all are making me hungry. Okay. 1545. Boom. 936 just won $500. 500. Everybody say 500. Somebody just won $500, and it is number 936, and that is going to be
Jasmine Black.
Jasmine Black. Woo!
And her YouTube handle is Jasmine Green.
And her YouTube handle is Jasmine Green. I love that. Okay. Cool. All right, so now we got to enter the number again. See, the number keeps changing. Larry, we just lost him on her. The number keeps changing because people keep filling out the form. By the way, if you're on YouTube and you haven't done so yet, if you want to win one of these prizes, you got to go to kingdomwealthsecrets.com and put your name, email address, phone number. You have to fill out the form completely. Mailing address and YouTube handle. So we're going to update the number. 1546. Okay, here we go. There's 1,546 people who've entered. And number 563. And that's going to be, by the way, this is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Jennifer Carville. Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. A list party favors. Jennifer, you just won yourself an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay. I want to give away something else right now. I gave away 500. What do I have left? I've got the iPad left. Let's give away a platinum ticket right now. The Make More Offers Challenge platinum ticket. So, Make More Offers is the training that I do once a month for entrepreneurs. The general admission ticket is $97. The VIP ticket is $297. The platinum ticket is $597. And you have to buy a VIP. Like, you can't just go buy a platinum ticket. You have to buy a VIP ticket. And then 5 days before the challenge starts, we send out the link for the people who want to upgrade to platinum. So if you're general admission, you watch in the Facebook group. If you're VIP, you get to come to the VIP and listen for an hour before the challenge starts. Listen to me answer questions for business people. And then if you're platinum, you actually get to ask questions. I'm giving away a platinum ticket for the Make More Offers Challenge. If you didn't win, you want to buy a ticket, you can go to MakeMoreOffersChallenge.com and buy a ticket. So we're going to give away a platinum ticket right now. All right, here we go. 262 want a VIP platinum ticket. Make some noise, make some noise. Oh, we got to wait till, let's wait. I got all excited. Let's wait till we find out who it is. Isha Williams. Yeah, make some noise, make some noise. IES had. Yep. Okay. Is your YouTube handle? YouTube handle. And what did she won the iPhone No, what you? Oh, she won the platinum ticket. I already gave away I thought, man, I gave that away. You won a VIP platinum ticket to the Make More Offers Challenge. Congratulations. Now we still have to give away. Golden Ops. Let's give away the Golden Ops right now. I want to do Golden Ops right now. You're going to win a $1,000 training program on how to do affiliate offers, how to make money in affiliate marketing, selling other people's stuff. That's what Golden Ops stands for. My name is Golden, okay? So it's not like Black Ops like the military, but it's Golden Ops like other people's stuff, okay? And so you're going to win this $1,000 program. Okay, here we go. And Golden Ops goes to number 2, all the way back to the beginning.
Whoever was the quickest of the draw.
This is for the first person who entered their name.
That's right.
That's crazy.
He's here. So, Alana.
Alana! You just won Golden Ops. Congratulations. Good job. All right, cool. I'm good. So now I'm going to teach something. I'm going to do the iPad and I'm going to do the iPad and the other thing later. So what I'm going to do now this is called the Millionaire Fast Track. So we talked about why fast is important. We talked about why like clearing up all your internal mental blocks for making money is important. Now we're going to talk how you going to make $1 million. Let's talk about the $1 million part, right? It's so mind-blowing to me how much simpler it is than we think it's going to be before we do it. Like, and then once you do it, you're like, why was I tripping? Right? Why did I let it take me so long to figure it out? Right? So I'm going to show you the $1 million formula. I usually only show this on my Make More Offers challenge, but I'm going to show it to y'all today on YouTube. This is how do you make $1 million a year, right? Because if you can make $1 million, you can make $2. And I told y'all when I first read Robert Kiyosaki's book, I told you the main takeaway that I had back in January of 1999. But by April of that same year, because I shifted my focus on the purpose of money, and I started thinking, okay, the purpose of money is to turn it into more money. So I realized the reason I was middle class and had been poor my entire life was because I was my only income producing asset. If I wasn't working, I wasn't getting paid. And so when I read that book, I realized I need to have some income producing assets that are making money when I'm not working. And I shifted my focus in January of 1999. So this doesn't have to take a long time. So by April of 1999, I made $6,200 in a week. Whereas in 1998, I only made $48,000 the whole year. So I went from $48,000 a year, and then at the beginning of next year, I'm like, I made $6,200 this week. Well, if you make $48,000 a year, that's about $4,000 a month. So if you're making $4,000 a month and you make $6,200 in a week, that's a month and a half's income in a week. And you're like, oh snap, right? And so I said, first thing I said was, I said, wow. Then I said it backwards. I said, wow. Then I said it upside down and backwards. Mom, wow, right? So I'm like, this is amazing. I made $6,200 in a week. Okay, wrap your mind around that. And so I concluded that must mean, because it was, and then the second thing I said was, I can't believe how easy it was. And I said, that must mean it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little money over a long period of time. So first thing I said was, wow. Second thing, can't believe how easy it was. Third thing, that must mean it's easier to make a lot of money over a short period of time than it is to make a little money over a long period of time. I am telling you that, remember I said earlier, we don't lack access, we lack awareness. That was the awareness that changed everything. When I became aware of the fact that it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than to make a little money over a longer period of time, I also made a decision. Here's a decision I made. I am right now going to stop looking at and looking for all the hard ways to make a little bit of money. And from now on, I'm only going to look for and only going to look at the easier ways to make a lot. When I made that decision, everything changed for me. By July of that same year, I want you to wrap your mind around this. By July of that same year, I had my first $8,000 day. And I thought, I just made $8,000 in a day. How do you go from $48,000 a year to $6,200 in a week to $8,000 in a day? Well, now, like, our average, like if we have a day, I don't even know how to figure this out. But if we have a day, I want to make sure I'm not like, I'm gonna speak conservatively, because otherwise you lying. Okay. Like, wow, that freaked me out. Really? Okay, I'm just going to say this. Really? Yeah, the people want to know. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. If I have a day where I make less than $10,000 or $20,000, like out of all 365 days a year, out of all 365 days a year, if we have a day where we make less than, it's considerably more than what I'm saying. I'm just not trying to give the whole story away. So if we have a day where our business generates less than $20,000 or more, we are not having a profitable day. Now, I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to flex. I'm trying to show you awareness. By the way, all of us have a standard, don't we? Who here can remember their first job? Who here remembers how much they made in their first job? Who here doesn't mind sharing? Okay, first job, name it. How much? Working for your dad in his warehouse. $9 an hour. So when somebody says their first job, they made $9 an hour, they are very young, right? That's what we call a young person, right? Zach. $7 an hour. Okay? This also means young. Okay, yes, sir. $4.25 an hour. Okay, now we talking. $4.25. Somebody else. $1.85 an hour. He must be close to my age, right? Okay. So $1.85 an hour. Tom, you had your hand up. Oh, Stephen. $3.25 an hour. Man, when I got my first job, if I'd have made $3.25 an hour, I thought I was rich. $3.35 an hour. Okay, so $3.35 an hour. My very first job, I made $1.55 an hour. I was 14 years old. It was my first summer job. I made $1.55 an hour. 1975, right? Brother Ron, do you remember your first job? How much was you making an hour? $15 a week. $15 a week. Right? So, now, I did that for a reason. Okay, we got people in there, 75 cents an hour, $3.25 an hour, $3.35 an hour. Okay, so here's what I want us to be aware of. Let me ask you all this question, and you can just type me in the chat. But how many of you, there's no universe in which you would accept a job making per hour what you made when you had your first job? There's no universe. Not going to happen, right? Okay, so here's what that means. That means you already have a standard below which you will not go. You already have a standard below which you won't go. So here's my question. Why not raise that standard? Since it's your standard anyway. Because I promise you, there will come a time in your life where you will look back on this time in your life and you will conclude that the amount of money you are working for now is ridiculous. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so all of that to say that. We don't lack access. What do we lack? Awareness. We're not aware. There's so much abundance all around us all the time, but we are not aware that it's there. We're not aware that other people will pay us for the value that we can bring into the market. We're just unaware. We go through life unaware. Okay, now, so how do you make $1 million? Well, I already talked about it earlier. The first thing you want to do is start the right type of business. What's the right type of business? You want to start a business that sells a product, not a business that sells a service. If you start a business that sells a service, there comes a point in the very near future where you are at capacity and you cannot make any more sales because otherwise your business implodes. Like if you sell books and you sell 1,000 books a week, that's good. But if you're a chiropractor and you get 1,000 adjustments a week, that's not good. Now you have a headache that will not go away, right? So, or if you're a painter and you get 1,000 houses to paint next week and they all want them done next week, now you have a headache, right? So you want to disconnect your revenue generation from time and sell products. Are y'all tracking? Okay, here we go. So you want to stop thinking about dollars per hour and start thinking about this word. This is one of my favorite words. Profit. Okay? You want to start a business where you sell a product that makes you $20 profit. $20 profit. We'll just say we'll pretend this book cost me $10 to print. It doesn't. It costs way less than that. Maybe it might cost me $2 or $3 to print. We're going to pretend it cost me $10 to print. Okay? We sell it for $30. I make $20 profit. Y'all tracking? All I have to do to make $1 million is sell 50,000 books. Now I'm going to ask Zach to look it up for me on the B.O.S.S Moves book funnel and see how many books we sold just in the funnel so far, total, since the beginning of time. Okay. So if I sell 50,000 books, since Genesis 1, yeah, they're going back to Genesis 1, see how many books we sold since Genesis 1. Okay, so 50,000 books times $20. Now here's what's really amazing. I learned this is a little math trick I learned in elementary school. This will help you. You ready? If you're multiplying two numbers that end in 0, you multiply the two numbers. 5 times 2 is? Okay, some of y'all didn't say anything. Y'all making me a little nervous. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10, and then you just count the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's $1 million. So if I have a product that makes me $20 profit, if I sell 50,000 of them, that makes me $1 million. And here's what people do. They'll ask a really, 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 really bad question and then go back to watching Netflix. Here's what they say. Yeah, but how do you sell 50,000 of them? You haven't even written the book yet. So in order to sell the 50,000, hey, you gotta write the book. You gotta create the product. Okay. So here's another little math trick I learned. I learned that if you're multiplying two numbers that end in 0 and you take the 0 off the back of that number and put it on the back of that number, the answer is still the same. So how many books have we sold? We've sold 5,000. Is that right? 5,648 books through the funnel. That doesn't include people who bought them at live events. It doesn't include people who come here and say, I want to buy B.O.S.S Moves. That's just on the book funnel. And by the way, that's since October of 2021. We sold 5,648 books times $30. How much is that? That's $231,000. That's how much of the book we've sold. Now, that doesn't include the funnel. Do you have the whole funnel number? Because we have upsells. Just shy, that book funnel has made us, since October of 2021, just shy of $360,000 because we have upsells. Okay, now, so this is really cool, y'all. And by the way, here, I got news for y'all. Y'all ready? If y'all taking notes, this is a writer downer. Anybody can do this. Okay, so notice what I did. I took the 0 off the back of that number, put it on the back of that number. If I take the same content that's in the book, same content, and I put it in a course and sell it for $200, I only have to sell 5,000 of them to make the same $1 million. So now, watch what just happened. I changed the media, or the medium, not media. I changed the medium, and I do 1/10 the work to make the same amount of money. By the way, what is this math proving to us? It's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little money over a long period of time. Isn't it interesting how all principles are microcosms of each other? Oh, snap. As soon as I did that, you know what I did? I hired a minister and a scientist and a lawyer. I wanted to see if there are any spiritual laws, any scientific laws, or any municipal laws against moving zeros. They said, no, you can move as many as you want to. I said, well, let me move another. If I've got a $2,000 course that I sell, I only have to sell 500 of them to make the same $1 million. Now, I'm about to change your life for the rest of your life. We had a lady in our mastermind last year. She had a $2,000 offer that she sold on an automated webinar. She wasn't making $1 million a year. She was making $1 million a month. Selling 500 $2,000 products a month on an automated webinar. But you may not be as talented as her, right? English is her 5th language, so you may not be able to talk as good as her, right? And so when I tell you you got a $500 product, you sell $2,000 product, you sell 500 of them, that's $1 million a year. Now here's what's really cool about 500. Y'all ready? That's only 10 a week for a year. 10 a week, that's only 2 a day. That's only 2 a day. And watch this, you can have weekends off and a 2-week vacation. And you still made $1 million because you had a $2,000 offer. But what if you just lost your mind, because that's what the people in your family are going to tell you did. You lost your mind and you had a $2,000, you took that zero off, put it up here, and you had a $20,000 offer. You only have to sell 50. Guess what 50 is? 1 a week. 1 a week. We have a $155,000 mastermind. We have 100 people in that. We have a $108,000 mastermind, but they don't pay $108,000, but they pay less than that. But we got over 200 people in that. VIP days, which we sell for $350,000. We sold them for $200,000 when we first started selling them. We sold like 18 of those. Okay, y'all ain't tracking yet, so let's move another zero. See if I can get y'all to get back on track. You got a $200,000 VIP day. You make 5 sales of that, you make another $1 million. I invented my VIP day in June of last year. I sold 4 in June. And I've sold 17 since, no, is it 17? 17 since then. So why am I telling you that? I am not teaching you theory. I am showing you what I do. What I do. So the question then becomes, which one should I do? Should I sell 50,000 of a $20 product, or 5,000 of a $200 product, or 500 of a $2,000 product, or 50 of a $20,000 product, or just 5 of a $200,000 product? The answer is D, all of the above, baby, all of the above. Do all of the above, all of them. This is what we do. You could do this. You say, all I'm saying is, folks, like, this is not what we do because I learned how to do this in college. This is not what we do because I learned how to do this in high school. This is what we do because I learned how to do this in life. And you watch a 2-hour and 18-minute YouTube video so far today, and you got a shortcut. Congratulations. So, just in case, I need to take an intermission for myself. So just in case any of you live in Tampa, Florida, this Sunday, I am going to be speaking at Pastor Tom Garrett and Stephanie Garrett's church in Brandon, Florida. So I'm going to ask him if he'll get the mic. Larry, can you turn on the catch box and come up and share with everybody the location and the times and the information? Give it up for Pastor Tom Garrett. And I'm going to take a break, and then when I come back from the break, I'm going to give away an iPad, and I'm going to give away the VIP day trip, and we're going to go from there. All right, Pastor Tom, come on up.
Oh, first of all, thank you, Myron, for coming to our church on this Sunday. We are so looking forward to it, as well as our congregation and many visitors that we're expecting to have. Should bring this a little bit closer. So again, thank you. We're looking forward to it. Here's the address. It's 207 New Hope Road. 207 New Hope Road. That's Brandon, Florida, 33510. It's 8 o'clock because the early bird gets the word. So come on out. 8 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you. You are welcome. God bless. We are Ambassadors Word Church, and you can hit our website at ambassadorsword.com. Ambassadorsword.com. So 207 New Hope Road. Sunday, 8 a.m. Look forward to seeing you. Well, it's special because Myron will be there this. But that's our service time and on Sunday morning, so we're looking forward to it. We do one service on Sundays. And this month is a month of success, and so we couldn't think of a better way to promote the kingdom concept of success than having Myron with us on Sunday morning. So we're very thankful. Well, yeah, since I'm here. Well, actually was on IG and saw Myron as a keynote speaker or feature speaker from someone who was promoting some type of event. And whenever I see someone promote a keynote speaker, what I want to know is who's the keynote speaker. Because obviously if they have him, they must think he's something, and I want to see who this is. I went to YouTube and I found a video of him. And I think the first, maybe the second video was the 4 levels of value, and my mouth dropped open. I thought, are you kidding me? Well, I didn't tell my wife yet, but I'm listening to video after video after video after video, even while I'm in the grocery store. I mean, I'm in Publix walking here, have my ears in, and I heard him talking to a guy who drove one of his vehicles and said, remember when you were here with me in Tampa? And I said, wait a minute. I said, he didn't just say he lives in Tampa. I know he didn't just say that. Well, he lives in Tampa. We're in Tampa. And we found him, found out about his challenge, and the rest is history. That's the short Cliff Note version of it. But, yeah, so glad I stumbled upon him. Yeah. Oh, it will be. So if you're not in the Tampa area, certainly you can go to that same name, Ambassador's Word Church, on Facebook, and you'll find us there. And we'll be on Facebook Live as well. So you can watch it if you're not in Tampa. But for those that are here, hey, we're looking forward to your visit, or our members, of course, being with us.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. Appreciate that, brother. All right. All right. So it's time to give some more stuff away. Did I already give away the $500? Okay. I didn't give away the $20,000 yet? Okay. Well, you know what? Possibilities always exist. Okay. So we're going to give away the iPad Pro, iPad something. It's not, I don't think it's an iPad Pro. I think it's an iPad. We're going to give away the iPad. I don't know how to tell. Okay. Is it an iPad Air? I don't know. They have iPad Airs? I didn't even know they had iPad Airs. Probably an iPad Water. Get it? iPad Air, iPad Water. Never mind. That wasn't even that funny. Okay, that was terrible. iPad 10th generation iPad. We're going to give that away. We already gave away an iPhone. We already gave away some AirPods. So we're going to give away the iPod. To that? No, this. That one. Keep on hitting them. I'm bound to tap in there one of these days. Okay. Okay, so now this is for the iPad Generation 10. 460. There's lots of people. We got a lot of scrolling to do here, folks. James Owens. Make some noise.
And then he put in his YouTube channel link, so I'll have to go find out.
Okay. James Owens put in his YouTube channel link. You know who you are. What city is he from? Where's he from?
He is from, it doesn't say the city. But he has his address.
He doesn't have his address?
But he has almost all his address. He doesn't have the state.
Does it have the zip code? We can't send it to you, bro. Like I told you, fill out the form completely. No? So
Yeah, no, it's not in there.
I'm gonna have to give it away to somebody else. We don't have a way to get it to you, and you can't re-enter your name. Make sure you fill out the form completely. You just want an iPad, and for a lack of following instructions, somebody else is gonna win it. So go ahead, put it. You want to change the number? Sorry about that, James. Okay, here we go. iPad for somebody with an address, 943. Layla Chaluga.
And she does have an address.
And her YouTube handle.
She has an email. She has her email.
Email. Okay, so what's the we're from what city?
She's from Aurora, Colorado.
From Aurora, Colorado. What's her name again? Layla Chaluga. Yeah. Layla Chaluga from Aurora, Colorado. You just won yourself an iPad, which will go out and it'll get shipped out today. Now, the next thing we're going to give away is you're going to be a fly on the wall with our VIP day trip, and you're going to get to go with us from Tampa to Puerto Rico. You're going to have to pay for your own. If you don't live in Tampa, you're going to have to pay for your airfare to get to Tampa. You're going to have to pay for your room when we get to Puerto Rico. You're going to have to pay for your own food, but I'll get you the event for free, and you'll get to fly on the private jet with me and my team and 2 of my VIP day students. So we're about to do that. And I'm going to have somebody on my team reach out to you when I sit back down and answer a couple of questions just to make sure you can go, because otherwise we're going to do another drawing for somebody else. Okay? So here we go. Yeah, you got to be on live. You got to be on live. That's what I did. What? No, I mean live on YouTube. You got to be live. You got to be still on YouTube. If you win this and you're not here, then yeah, we got to give it to somebody else. So let me know you're here when I call your name. You ready? Ready? Generate number 313. 313. This is going to be none other than the one and only Shavana Jenkins. Shanae Ja is your YouTube handle.
I'll put it in the chat right now.
What's her name? What's her name again? From Harrisburg, PA. What's her name again? I'll put it in the chat. Okay. Are you there? Are you there? I forgot I said you'd have to be here. Is she there? Okay. Okay. We got a lot of people in this room who want your spot. You might want to say something. Okay. Yeah, she put an email address in there. She got hers in there. But she didn't respond yet. What's her name again? Shanae Ja. Here, I can read it. That's funny. I can't even see it. Wow, he said I can read it. Okay. I see yellow. Oh, Ivana Shea Ja. Ivana Shea Ja. At Ivana Shea Ja. Yeah, Ivana Shea Ja. Ivana Shea Ja. Okay. Do they have to be alive? Yeah, they can't be dead. Okay. So, are they here? By the way, guys, it makes sense to this. These are not little petty gifts. Okay, she ain't here. Okay, we're gonna do it again. So you want to upgrade? Want to upgrade the number? Update the number. I'm gonna do it 2 more times. If we don't get somebody, then we gonna. Yeah. I hear y'all. Number 1140. 11. That part. 1140. 1140. Is this your number? 1140 is John Robinson.
The Robinson Empire.
The Robinson Empire. Are you there, John Robinson with the Robinson Empire? Are you there? Are you there? John Robinson, going once. John Robinson, the Robinson Empire. Are you here? Just say, I'm here. That's all you got to do, John. And it needs to say John Robinson beside your name and say, I'm here. No? Nobody? John Robinson ain't here either. Huh? Oh, it's a delay. Okay, there's a little bit of a delay on YouTube. That's true. John Robinson, the Robinson Empire. Looking for the Robinson Empire. Looking for the Robinson Empire. Going once. Yeah. These, like, I need to start letting folk up in here because they coming in here trying to take your spot. They trying to take your spot. Okay. So, no. Okay. One. Okay, so let's do another one. You want to update the numbers at? No? Okay. John Robinson wasn't here. We give away the best stuff at the end for people who stay to the end. You know what I'm saying? 1712. Here we go. Number 158. That's early. That's early on. I hope you stayed the whole time. I hope you stayed the whole time. 148. 158. I'm sorry. Danielle M. Brown.
Deeper with Danielle.
Deeper with Danielle. Deeper with Danielle. You still here, sister? Danielle. Wow. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all. It's going to take a second. Danielle Brown, Deeper with Danielle, you there? Somebody said, I have my own Robinson Empire. She's there. Okay. Deeper with Danielle is still here. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. So somebody from my team, Danielle, is going to call you to make sure you can make it. And we appreciate y'all being on here on this YouTube Live. It was fun. I hope it was a blessing for y'all. And if you're not a subscriber already to our YouTube channel, you definitely want to subscribe. We will be doing this again. We will be doing this again, number one. Number two is we do a Bible study every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. About business and wealth and financial literacy and all of that. So you want to make sure that you tune in. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live. Who knows, when we go live again and do this again, you never know. You might actually win something. Man, we gave away thousands of dollars worth of really cool prizes today. So I appreciate, what's that? Tens of thousands. Oh yeah, tens of thousands. That's right, because we gave away bonuses. We gave away courses and a trip on a private jet. Who does that, right? Right? Okay. So congratulations to all of you. Everybody also wins. So if just because you were here, everybody. So one of the things that one of the skills that you're going to have to develop if you want to create wealth, you're going to have to learn how to learn faster, because information increases very rapidly. And one of the skills that I have, fortunately for me, is I have the ability to learn really, really fast. And so I created an accelerated learning course with a friend of mine named Matt DeMaio. Matt DeMaio is like, I've seen him stand up in front of a room and have people call out just random objects. And he'd write down 30 random objects on a board like this. And then he'd turn around and he'd number them. He'd turn around and he'd say, somebody in the audience, give me a number. And they'd say 14. He'd tell them what number 14 was. They'd say, and they'd say the thing, and he'd tell them what number it was, right? Like literally, without even looking at it for any time at all. And so he's an accelerated learning, like grand master, and I understand some concepts about accelerated learning as well. And so this program, it's called The Faster You Learn, The More You Earn. Everybody's going to get it. Everybody who showed up today live is going to get it. Everybody who showed up, as long as your email address is in the form, you are going to get a link to it. We sell it. It's something we sell, but we're going to give it to you for free. The faster you learn, the more you earn, because everybody needs to learn how to learn faster, because the faster you learn, the more you earn. All right. I appreciate y'all joining us today. Share this video so other people can watch it. Hope it was helpful and a blessing to all who watched today. Thanks for joining us. We're signing out. We're out of here. Peace out, Cub Scout. Okay, 2.5 hours.